You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And it just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just smashed his soul. What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your kick, nigga. You hear me?
Let's get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
What's easy to do this? Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. And go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Dale. I'll see you later. Find someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Right here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Alacosta has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was done. Did you like that? I love you.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Wow, almost a full house today. Joining me tonight, Hamada, MV Chu, Kevin Horn, Ari Gold Boss, Bruce, and Leon. Hope you guys are good. Busy weekend in boxing. Let's jump straight into it. Chu, my Scottish brother from another mother, Deontay Wilder, and Eric Molina. I was shocked with how the fight played out. I thought it was going to be easy work for Wilder. He twisted it around in his post-fight interview, saying that he did want a good, solid opponent to put on a show in his hometown. First defence. What did you think of Wilder's performance, Chu?
What's up, Cam? I thought it was the worst WBC heavyweight title fight in history. It was that way on paper. And I watched the fight. And I thought, nah, it didn't do anything for me. Eric Molina looked in tragic shape. Came in with 230 pounds. He just looked like a fat whale. He gave Wilder trouble in the third round. He rocked him. He kind of had a strange style. You know, lunging in with his head down, throwing them those kind of punches that are behind the back. You know, you can't see where they're coming from. And Wilder just, fucking hell. Wilder is learning on the job. He's the only world champion I know that's got his L plates on. And he's having trouble with this guy. Fucking hell, man. I was picking Wilder to really beat Tyson Fury and fucking give Klitschko trouble, but man, if he's having trouble with this guy, he should just put it on the back burner and just, I don't know, see if the WBC will sanction any more of these fucking mismatches.
When he fought Stavern, his concentration level was excellent, man. Like he was pumping the jab out, and he was just watching Stavern. You know, every time he was trying to jump in and get him with the overhand. But against Molina, I just thought maybe he took his eye off the ball a bit and just thought, I'll go back to my knocking the guy out in the third round days. And it just seems to me that his concentration level wasn't as high as previous fights, especially the Stavern fight. Kev, did you see the fight, and what did you think of?
Nah, I didn't watch it.
Casual Kev.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm the barometer if a fight matters. That's the high opinion I have of myself.
Okay, fair enough. Ari, have you got any glass-related metaphors to go for Wilder?
I think he's got double glazing. You know, he's got glass, but it's not It's not it's not weak glass. It's still glass.
It's not
con. That left hook. I'm
not
surprised
con
it didn't go down. You know what I mean? Well, I've never rated Wilder. Everyone knows that. His Tavern performance actually impressed me, and I thought maybe he's fixed up. Maybe actually he's been doing stuff in the gym, but I don't know. We still don't know what Tavern was in there. I don't want to go on, but apparently he's dehydrated and all that. So, and he still lost the 12. I don't know, but yeah, come on, man. I don't want to hear no one talking about Molina's this and that, like how Wilder tried to say in the post fight. That's an overweight cruiserweight.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people, and I saw a lot of people on Twitter trying to defend that matchup, and I think it was utterly indefensible.
What defend it before? Defend it beforehand.
The guy was fighting 6-rounders, and he was fighting cruiserweight fights. Within the last couple of years, he's fought cruiserweight fights and 6-rounders, or what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, just I thought. I think I messaged Cam. I was like, in the 5th round or 6th round, I was like, is Wilder trolling? Is he serious? You know what I mean? Is that surreal? Where even the 8th round, Wilder started gassing, Molina's ripping him with body shots. I just wish why weren't Molina doing that in the early rounds? Molina went in there thinking he's going to get knocked out early. When we realized he's still there, then he started fighting back. And he started fighting back too late. We might have had a real good fight if he started doing that in the early rounds, because that 8th round surprised me. He was starting to hurt Wilder. He was starting to beat him up. He was making him look very bad, in his. Then Wilder got it done in the round after, but still, man, I just hope he doesn't keep that belt or keep trying to feed bums to him, for another year or two, because I see when he fights. Obviously, I don't think he'll ever fight Vlad. We all know he won't ever fight Vlad unless they want to cash him out, but. I've always said I think Fury beats him. And I know it's early and we haven't seen him step up yet, but come on, if you don't see that Joshua compared to him, who's the truth for the future, is Joshua. And, I say give Joshua 6 to 12 months, you'd beat Wilder. I can't say he'd beat him now because we haven't seen him up against the opposition, but he would have killed Molina in 2. We all know that.
Yeah, he would have blitzed him.
Just one of them things.
Give him 6 days.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Give him 6 days.
Yeah, I don't want to say that because people will say, "Oh, look at the hype train." Because we see the hype train over here. Maybe the Americans don't. Sky are crazy on Joshua. I don't want to be too hyped on him. We still haven't seen him really against anyone with a real name. Like a live dog. But he passes the eye test. That's the thing. So,
but
Wilder's never passed it for me.
Wilder's only fought one live dog, maybe 1.5 live dogs.
Yeah, that's as bad as Joshua hasn't fought anybody yet. Wilder's only fought maybe 2 guys that are better than Joshua's best opponent, and one of them took a dive. Yeah.
But seriously, that is his 34th fight, and you can't say that he's improved. How long ago was it that he fought Audley Harrison?
He fought him
2-3 years ago.
Yeah. I can't say that he's improved in that time. In 3 years, I haven't seen any improvement. I think it's a mirage that I don't know what happened in that Stavern fight, but he was horrible.
I think he's got a better jab now. I say he's improved his jab, but it's just defense-wise. If everyone sees it, if he's in there with a real heavyweight, knows what he's doing, I think you get knocked out.
He reacts like a club fighter when he hurts someone. When he hurts someone, he reacts like a club fighter. He goes crazy. He's winging shots in.
And he just looks like a guy that's going to have chin issues. He's got no legs. He's got no meat on him. He just doesn't. Sometimes you see guys that just naturally are able to take punches. They might not look like physical specimen, but when a guy's legs are that skinny, and he's tall as shit, but he's a small guy. You know what I mean? Going into the Stavern fight, he came into that fight 4 pounds heavier than me. But he's not a big guy. He's not carrying around if he was a big boned guy and he was 6'7", he'd be easily 20, 30 pounds heavier.
But when he hurt him, Molina, at one point he just ran over him, didn't he? Pushed him into the ropes. His finishing, he didn't give himself any space to throw big punches. He just went wild, just jumping all over him. I mean, that's just poor technique, isn't it? If you're a heavyweight fighter, you get someone hurt, you need to know how to finish them. That's what the best ones do.
Hamada, I've got a question for you. Do you think Eric Molina will look back now and at that third round and think, shit, I had an opportunity there, but I didn't take it?
Yeah, he will. But I think Wilder recovered quite well, in my opinion. I think he recovered well. I think the first punch didn't really hurt him. I think it was the left hook that really done the damage.
Yeah.
His legs did a little dance, but I actually surprised that his chin actually held up. I thought he would have went down from a big shot like that, but his chin actually held up. I don't think his chin is as bad as people think it is, but it's one of them. He's like Amir Khan, or you know these chinny fighters that you think every punch that hits him, you're just waiting for his legs to go. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So we make more of it than it really should be.
Yeah, that's why he's got double glazing. You say Khan has it as well. You know, the double glazing.
You might break.
You know, it's not pure glass, but it will. Wait, one sec.
But
shit.
It will break. That's what I'm saying. You know,
it will, against a good fight, it will break, especially when he starts walking backwards with his chin all up in the air and his arms all wide. That is horrible. The way he backs away. Someone's going to...
You know what surprises me the most about Wilder?
A hand on him.
What surprises me the most about Wilder is that he's been boxing not that long, if you look at it in terms of, you know, other boxers. Like, obviously they start at, say, age 9, 10. But he started boxing well before Joshua did. And Joshua looks more fundamentally sound than he does. It's like he does a lot of things that are wrong. Like, you can tell that when he sees punches coming, like, he pulls back pulls back right straight. You know what I'm trying to say? Straight lines.
His chin in the air as well.
His chin is never tucked. Even when he's walking his opponent down, or when he sees anything happening, his chin not tucked. His chin is always quite high up. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not really down to where he the bottom of his neck, but it's just weird, man. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You just either you have it or you don't. I just don't think Wilder has it.
And he puts his hands up at the wrong times. Like, he covers himself up at all the weirdest times. It's like the only time you need to cover yourself, especially if you're moving backwards, you need to cover yourself up. But his arms are by his side every time.
Obviously, even when he moves backwards,
yeah.
Even when he moves backwards, you're meant to move backwards and then move to one side. He doesn't even do that. He just moves back, keeps moving backwards, and then he'll see the punch coming and then just try to pull his head away from it. And I was wincing each time I saw it, because you could tell Molina's not really committing the way he would like to, because obviously he's worried about Wilder. You know what I'm trying to say? He's worried about what's going on. So someone that will commit with longer arms could get to his chin, man. And even his trainer was telling him, stop pulling your head back. The trainer kept telling him.
You don't think Fury, with his long reach, would just clock him when he's trying to do that lean back bullshit?
Yeah, most good fighters would.
I disagree.
People say, go on, Chu, go on.
Okay, so at least Wilder has fought someone his own size. He's fought several fighters his own size. So against the smaller fighters, he can get away with that.
Well, it's
pulling his head back stuff. But against a guy who's about 6'5", 6'6", you can't do that, because the guy's got quite long arms as well, and he can hit him.
But it's easier to say, he's fought guys his own size. He's 6'3". Tyson Fury's 6'9". There's not a lot of giants out there.
No, Wilder's 6'7", bro.
Oh no, sorry, 6'7". My bad, 6'6". Yeah, I was thinking of someone.
Wilder, Fury, those guys are like the same size. Like,
who's he fought his own size? Chu.
Nobody. He's fought nobody with any
Wilder.
height.
I'm talking about Wilder. Who's Wilder?
Okay, Eric Molina was in his ballpark. Malik Scott was in his ballpark.
Malik Scott was like.
You're talking about Malik Scott like he's a contender.
No, but obviously people that are
Malik Scott's 6'5".
Malik Scott's not 6'5", is he?
He's tall people, but obviously they're not a threat. Like, you know what I'm saying? People like Audley Harrison and that Price guy. He fought a guy called Price one time, and he was quite big as well. But they're just not good enough to get to him. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And people like Fury are. I don't think Fury has the power to hurt him, because I've been seeing lately, I've not been convinced with Fury's punching power recently. So I think Wilder has a better chance. Plus, I think Fury's hiding as much glass as Wilder is.
Who's the tallest guy?
Fury's concentration hasn't been. He don't look. He don't look like he's about business in there. And I don't care. You could use excuses, level, entertaining yourself, not caring. But nah, you come in and smoke somebody. Then don't look like a clown. You know what I mean? I think that's more mental weakness than anything else.
In his last two good performances, he hasn't clowned. He's been taking it seriously. I'd understand if you said that after the Cunningham or the Abel fight, but he outclassed Chisora, and he did the same thing to Hammer. So
yeah, but he spent too long in there with them. Fury should have got rid of them earlier. If his power was legit, he would have got rid of them earlier.
I think he was just trying to get some rounds under his belt because of all the postponements with the Chisora. I think he just wanted to get back in the ring and get some rounds.
So why does that argument work for Fury, but it doesn't work for Wilder?
Because Wilder wasn't. Do you think Wilder was looking to stay in there? The way he was throwing that right hand.
And you call yourself Bomb Squad.
I think he wanted to hurt him at earlier rounds, but obviously he couldn't. But obviously, the pressure of him being home, and he needs to entertain. He needs to kind of, don't kill this guy, but just hurt him enough, you know what, don't fire back at me. That's what I think. And I also think... He was spamming right hands. He was trying to show off for the crowd. He was trying to get him out inside free, like we were expected to happen. Yeah, and I also think...
And when it didn't happen, I think he panicked a bit.
To his defense, he's one of those fighters, when you're athletically gifted like that, you kind of fight to every opponent. So sometimes, when your opponent is not up to your level, you kind of down your level to fight. Because when you look at him, when you fought Stavern, he had the perfect game plan, and he stuck to it. And then you look at him now, it's mentally he cannot, psych himself up to for this guy. So he kind of fights to his opponent's level.
That's on him. He fucking picked him.
Yeah, we cannot really criticize him that much because he seems to know, what he's doing. It's not like he's not incompetent. That's
he is incompetent. His skills are competent.
I wouldn't go that far.
Bruce, he looked like he knew what he was doing in there.
No, he looked like... No, not so much like he knew what he was doing, but he knew who he's in there with. The guy who he's in there with is not much of a threat to him. That's what I'm trying to say. So, he kind of...
But if he almost got dropped, then he's kind of a threat,
Yeah, but anyone will get dropped. But, you hit me enough not for me to go down, but for me to feel your power. I think, he kind of dropped his levels. Yes, I'll give you guys that. But he's one of those guys. He fights to his levels, to the level of his opponents.
Wilder made a good adjustment one time. At the start, he was just mainly throwing the jab, the right hand. But then I think round 4, I saw him starting to use the left hook, and the left hook was one of the punches he actually dropped him with.
But let's be honest, he's fighting a part-time boxer. This guy's a club fighter. Let's be honest about it. This guy is a full-time teacher, part-time boxer. What is he doing? And he's meant to be the world champion. Yeah. You can't be taking 9 rounds to do this.
Yeah, we already gave this too much time talking about a fourth-grade teacher fighting a heavyweight champion of the world.
I think just to kind of clarify my thoughts, I think his jab is excellent, but he's very predictable when he's just jab, right hand, telegraph. You know when the right hand's coming. And against a skilled boxer, you'll...
Like a Fury?
No, maybe not a Fury, but against a guy who could slip that.
No, Fury is good, Ari, but Fury is not good
at
ducking
I'm only
punches.
saying that because he says a good boxer, and then he doesn't.
Yeah,
he never wants to give Fury the credit.
Oh, okay,
every time I try to bring up Fury, that's what I was doing. I was just sticking it to Chew a bit. Don't worry, Reese.
But this was so go on, Chew. Sorry.
Well, I think his punch resistance is a bit shocking. Every time he gets hit, he's like a guy with Parkinson's who's just got tasered. He's fucking got the shakes. And against, it might be to do with his skinny legs. I just think he's just so unused to getting hit because he's so tall. Okay, Molina only hit him like a handful of times. But every time he did, it stayed with him. And against a bigger puncher, he's going to have problems.
That's a good way to wrap up that section. And if anyone got anything left about Wilder?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, when Chu was talking about his jab, I remember like 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago, I saw a clip of him on YouTube, and I think they were in a car park late in the night, and Lennox Lewis was teaching him how to throw a jab, and I was laughing at Wilder because, boy, the way he was doing it, and Lewis is telling him like, no, do it like this, and then he would come there and he just do something different, and I was like, man, this guy, he can't even grasp the essence of doing a jab properly. I can't see the hype behind him. I think that time he had about 22 knockouts or 25 knockouts. I was like, no. But then watching the jab, like how he does it now, even though it's predictable, like he got it down to pat. He gets behind his jab, and I like that. And yeah, we'll see how far he'll go. But I agree, even though he's too predictable, but it's always up to the other boxer to kind of predict the predictability and get out of the jab. Show us how good you are.
Yeah, he telegraphs that right hand so much, but I was impressed with I think it was Hamada saying earlier with the left hook, man, because I watched both feeds. I think I watched the Sky one and the Showtime one, and Paulie was picking up on, Molina was so eager to watch out for the right hand, he completely didn't see the left hook coming. And for him, like Leon saying, being so wild and throwing wild shots, he does throw the left hook quite compact sometimes. It's
yeah,
not
but
as...
do you see the one he hit him with, do you see how long and straight it was, though?
Yeah.
It's like he caught him with the end of a clothesline again.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but sometimes he can mix it up and throw a slightly shorter one, but I don't know, man. For me, Wilder, this was supposed to be an easy fight, We were criticising Molina when he got announced as his opponent. Some people thought it was a decent pick, Hamada. And you kind of turned out to be right, Hamada, or is it a case of just Wilder being shit? Or was it a combination of both? Molina being better than we expected and Wilder not showing up?
A combination of both. I saw some things in the Areola fight which made me think he'd be a bit live in there, but yeah, it was surprising. It was surprising. I thought he would do him in 3. I had a friend call me and said he wanted to put money down on the over, the over was only 3.5 rounds, and I think it was like 3-1, and I told him don't do it. Wilder's going to knock him out early. Over 3.5 as well, man. 3-1, and my friend was telling me, I was like, nah, Wilder's going to knock him out in 2 rounds.
Just a quick question to everyone who have seen the Molina. What's that? The guy that knocked him out in the first round? What's his name? My mind's gone blank. Areola fight. It seemed to me that he took harder shots against Wilder, and he kept getting up. And the shots that he got hit against Areola looked like he could have got up, but he kind of quit. Like, would you guys have agreed?
Yeah, but it's a world title fight, isn't it? You're gonna give your all in a world title fight. You'll dig deeper than you normally would in a normal fight.
Unless those punches didn't hurt as much. Who knows?
Maybe Areola's a bigger puncher, but yeah.
Maybe it is. Povetkin beats him. That's my final thought.
All right. Goodbye. Hang up now. All right. Should we wrap up? Anyone else got any remaining thoughts about Wilder?
No.
Okay. We'll stick to the card. Just finish up quickly with Jose Pedraza versus Andrei Klimov. When I was watching it live, I did watch it again today, but I was more focusing on the HBO card, but Pedraza really impressed me, man. From when I rewatched it today, they were saying that he's not a natural lefty. He switched because I think he watched the Klimnov's fight against shit, man, my mind's gone blank again. It doesn't matter. My mind's gone blank, but yeah, he switched to southpaw, and he kind of dominated the fight in southpaw, I thought. And it's hard for me to say because I've never really seen him fight before. 130 is a bit of an empty division. If Walters goes up there, then maybe he can fight Walters. But from whatever Walters is saying, he wants to stay down at featherweight 126. So I don't really know, to be honest. You guys see the fight? Anyone got any thoughts?
Yeah,
No, I didn't see it.
I saw the fight. I thought after a while it just looked a bit of like a mismatch, to be quite honest, because Klimov was supposed to be a steady test for him, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, and then he just felt like a mismatch, man. But it did look good. Pedraza did look good. He's doing the right things, giving angles and different combinations and different rhythms to his punching outputs. So yeah, but if Walters come up there, it'd be a different story.
Yeah, I remember the name. It was Terence Crawford. Klimov fought Crawford, and he came out in southpaw and dominated him. Sorry about that. Anyone else, or should we move on?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw bits of it. I didn't watch the whole fight in its entirety, but Pedraza looked real good, man. He looks slick. He moves well. Throws good punches. He looked nice, man.
I agree. Okay, let's move on. Ivan Redkach. Ari, you and me had a little conversation before the fight. I said to you that I was picking Redkach, and you were like, why? He's not got any notable wins. He's kind of been fed easy opponents, and I just thought, Zlaticanin would just caught Ricky Burns at a good time, and Peter Petrov was a decent win at the time, but not a massive name. But you proved me wrong, Ari, man. Zlaticanin was a beast against Redkach.
Yeah, he's looking legit. We didn't know much. I'll say for us Brits, we didn't know much of him when he fought Burns. I think most people fought Burns. It was actually supposed to be a warm-up fight for Burns, or they thought it was an easy route to the WBC belt. Obviously that didn't work out. Burns lost a split, and I can't lie, I didn't expect to knock him out. I've never seen Redkach. I didn't even bother YouTubing him. I just looked at his record and I didn't see anything. I just saw a guy having his first step-up fight, and I thought against someone like Zlaticanin, I don't think he's going to do it. So I went against him. I went by split though. I didn't know too much, but yeah, man, that was fucking hell. Do you see them hooks? At first, I was getting pissed off with Zlaticanin because he wasn't throwing enough. He was probably waiting until he was standing in front of him to throw. He was like he wouldn't throw on the move, and I was getting, I said to you, he's trying to annoy me, but the way he caught him on the ropes with Redkach throwing them wild punches, it kind of reminded me. Sorry, Cam, it kind of reminded me of Khan Garcia. Redkach got caught trying to throw some weird uppercut hook. Zlaticanin caught him. Like, Jesus Christ, that finish.
Cam is just fuming now, man.
Zlaticanin, and I think he's mandatory for Linares now. I like Linares, but if Zlaticanin's got that kind of power there, you never know.
Now, it was
that'll be a good fight. I can't wait for that fight. That's next.
It was a beautiful shot that he caught with, like you said. Redkach was trying to throw the uppercut, and he just caught him with the overhand left. Because both southpaws, just on the top of the head, man. And one thing I think Redkach got up too quick. Second thing, what did you think about the decision? I thought it was a fair because he was getting caught on the ropes. His hands were getting a bit lower.
He was done.
But
he was toast.
But one thing I want to ask you guys is I rewatched it today, but with the Showtime feed, and during Sky's coverage, it made it out like the ref was sending him to the corner for that little cut that I didn't even think was a cut because I didn't see any blood. But on the Showtime feed, you can clearly hear him request the doctor to look at the cut. So I think Redkach was looking for a way out, I thought he's thinking, what, this guy's too much for me, man. Maybe I can get out, because the 4 rounds haven't passed yet. Get out on a technical decision or something.
No contest.
Yeah, sorry, no contest, yeah. So, definitely I think he was trying to quit, but props to him.
He got what he deserves then if he was trying to find a way out like that.
I don't know if that's the case. That was the impression it came to me.
Cause I'm saying it's truth now, Cam. He tried to quit and he got what he deserved.
Fair enough.
I don't know. He was starting to take over though. He was starting to take over.
Now, yeah,
like I said, Zlaticanin was starting to, he started being tentative and not throwing, and Redkach was starting to get the jab going.
Yo, Zlaticanin's got no jab, man. Like, he barely throws a jab. But when he throws those hooks in, you can hear him, man. The loud, like, weighty punches that he throws. Some of those hooks that he was throwing to the body, man, they were deadly. And I just thought, this guy is very underrated, man. Like, I kind of regretted picking Redkach because I thought, Zlaticanin, his performance against Burns, we only saw half the fight because fucking the Sky feed miraculously went out.
Eddie Hearn. Yeah,
Eddie Hearn. But I'm on the Zlaticanin train, man. But the thing is, if he does fight Linares, which is on the books, I think Linares could just outbox him with the jab. But the problem with Linares is that chin. Like, if he gets caught, then fucking hell, I could see that being an amazing fight,
But yeah, he's hard to hit, Zlaticanin. He's small,
and he's got a tight guard, and he dips low as well, innit?
Yeah, I picked him, but I fucked up my picks in the league, and I must have put Redneck or whatever his name is. I put his name down by accident. I'm gutted because I was going to you, wasn't I? Oh yeah, he's got this. Zlatan will win it.
Yeah,
but yeah, gutted. But yeah, no, he looked good, didn't he? He's tough little bastard.
Yeah, man.
He comes to fight as well.
Definitely, man. I'm impressed, man. I like that guy. But anyone else see it?
Body shots were lethal, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, I seen it, man. From the start, you can tell Redkach was uncomfortable with him. He didn't really know what to do with him. He was clinching really early in the fight. I watched it on Sky, and Jim Watt was making note of that quite early on. That he kept grabbing hold and stuff like that. And like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to find a way out because he just didn't seem comfortable in there. I think Redkach was probably winning the rounds because I think he was jabbing and he was actually doing a bit well. I think what you could say was probably nothing in it really, probably 2-1, 3.
He was on his way to being
2-1, whatever you want to say, but
yeah, I think he won the second Redneck or whatever his name is, 1 second third. I'm done with this guy.
And then bang, man, that left hand from nowhere, you didn't see it coming, but I think the stoppage wasn't premature, but I think he should have had another count because he was being held up by the ropes when he after that barrage. But he was gone though, so I'm not sure he would have done anything afterwards.
He was saying, I think I read on Boxing Scene, I was fine. It was a terrible stoppage.
Yeah,
he was still stumbling around like after that the hand was raised.
Yo,
yeah, that left hand done some damage, man.
Yo, Robert Garcia's taking L's lately, man. But that's another reason I mentioned him about quitting, because Robert Garcia is good at like pulling his fighters out before the 4th round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said it on the night as well.
Yeah,
he's gonna do Mikey Garcia.
I predicted it. But anyone else? Chu, did you manage to see it before the show started?
Nah, I saw the knockout. It was a good knockout. I thought, Zlaticanin, it just proved that Ricky Burns is not short, man. He's a beast.
So Ricky's back then.
That was a close fight, man.
It was, man.
It's 7 rounds to 5.
Burns one was a split as well, isn't it? The Burns fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a split. But we said, we don't know though. We don't know what happened in them rounds we missed.
Yeah, we have to find someone that was at the fight and actually scored it in those rounds that we miraculously missed.
Clearly, Ricky was dominating.
Fair enough.
I think Sky gave Ricky Burns every round, innit? I think that's what I heard. He gave him every round that the thing was cut.
That was too suspect though.
5-1 before the feed cut.
Exactly.
They come back. They had it 5-5.
Yeah, that was too suspect.
5-1. They had it 5-5.
Ricky's right up there in everybody's thoughts because if you think about it, Terence Crawford is probably going to be the pound for pound king. Fucking Ray Beltran is taking who knows what. Fucking Dejan Zlaticanin turns out to be fucking probably the
Triple
best
G.
lightweight. Yeah, he's like the fucking Serbian Triple G.
And Montenegro.
Man, I used to laugh at this guy.
No, Montenegro.
How long that was?
Montenegrin,
whatever. He's a little beast. I used to fucking laugh. I used to laugh at this guy. Oh, he's the Balkan champion. Well, the guy turns out to be a fucking a dark horse in the lightweight division. So shout out to him, credit to him. That Linares fight would be tremendous. I think he would probably beat Linares just because Linares has got a crystal chin on that face of his. So I just think if Zlaticanin is able to land one of those big lefts, I think Linares would go to sleep very quickly.
Excellent. Kev, I don't know if you saw it. You probably didn't if you didn't see the Wilder fight. Alright, I'll leave that. Let's move on to HBO, I guess. Nicholas Walters. I didn't really enjoy this fight. It was okay. I just...
Really?
I wasn't impressed with Marriaga, man. I just thought he was throwing too many single punches. He was trying to counter. He had good upper body movement, but it's just
Nicholas
a jab.
Walters.
I think that was a good high, fast-paced chess match.
Do you think so?
I like that. I like that kind of fight.
I
don't know. I saw adjustments from Walters in the later rounds, and he started turning it up. I liked it.
The step back counter right hand was excellent from Walters, but I just thought Marriaga could have done better, man. I just thought he's like jab, 1-2, jab, step away, roll. I don't think he was doing enough, man. But I don't know. Maybe it was because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was tired as fuck. So
yeah, I think that's what it was, Cam.
Two fighters with very similar styles.
Yeah.
Both keep their hands high, good defence, very wide stance.
Well, they knew each other, so they've had, I think they fought twice in amateurs. But I think Walters came with something different where he was ripping that body shot. And I've never seen amateur fights, but you don't really see body shots in amateur fights. So I guess that's what he came with to change up, because he knew that this guy's beating me before. Let me show him what the pros are like, because he was ripping them left hooks to the body, man. I'm surprised Marriaga was taking them so much. Like, I only saw him really get affected by two of them.
You fucking love Walters, don't you, Harry?
I got to root for him, man. That we don't get a lot of Caribbeans.
Let's be honest.
The Caribbeans, they're out there for me. I'm not claiming Puerto Ricans or Dominicans. That's different. They're Spanish.
They're not Caribbean anyway, man.
What was that word? Dominicans?
Shots fired.
Is that how you say it?
Dominican.
No. He's right. Ari's right. There's a country called Dominica.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the other Dominica. But I'm after root
Dominican.
Commonwealth Caribbean islands, man. I'm from Grenada. He's Jamaican, but I still got to root for him. And he's a beast. So of course I'm going to root for him. I seen him early as well. I seen him on Top Rank TV. Shout out to Top Rank TV. They always come with the crisp HD streams. So I have to, man.
Wait a minute. I've heard you criticise Andre Ward amongst others for all this catchweight business. He's the worst offender.
He missed by 1 pound.
Listen, he's...
What you're trying to say is Andre Ward has got a Caribbean wife, so doesn't that count?
No, fuck that.
He is... Okay, just because you can make the weight doesn't mean you're really a featherweight, in my opinion. You rehydrated up to 140.
That's exactly what it means.
But he didn't even make it.
No, he didn't make it, so he's not a featherweight. You're right. But if he made it, then he was a featherweight.
Yeah, I say. I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he should. He's still featherweight guy. I think he should move up. He is too big. Go up super feather. I don't see anyone really testing him there.
Yeah, if you sign up for a weight, you should make it. If you can't make it even once, then if I'm your opponent, you should be forced to move up. Like, you shouldn't take a risk of killing yourself to make weight, and this guy misses it by a pound and a half, and then takes off a little less.
He looked terrible on the scales, but I'm not gonna take anything away from his performance. Other than that, he is still a bit on the defensive side, a bit open. For the right. Marriaga was landing them right hands. And Marriaga is known for power. But, I think Walters did feel a couple right hands, but he never really got rocked. But, people say that, but he had 10 pounds on him. Like, it's not, you're going on like it was 15, 20. It wasn't like Vic the other night, last week, where, I can't remember that guy's name. He had 20 pounds on him. That's crazy. But he had 10 pounds, so obviously, people want to go on about it because he missed the weight, but it wasn't that extreme. Let's not.
I think when it's that small a weight class, when it's those lighter weights, I think 10 pounds is a difference. And I'm not convinced on this guy. He's fought Donaire. He was, like I said in the Boxing Boys chat, Donaire was food to him. Donaire kebab.
That was good too.
You did all that work for that joke. Walked a long way for
that was in itself. I'm not finished, bro.
It's a good setup, though.
Darchinian, he's a fucking midget. This guy, Marriaga, like I said on Twitter, he's a kind of similar size to him, so lo and behold, he doesn't get the knockout. That just shows me that his power mostly comes from being bigger than the other guy, rather than him being like everybody was talking about, like him being a Golovkin or one of these guys.
It is true. Like these guys in the lower weight classes that seem to be knocking people out are the ones that are cutting 15 pounds and putting on 15 pounds overnight. 12.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If you weigh 126 and you're coming in at 140 something, that's like a huge percentage of your weight you're putting back on. You know what I mean? Like at least when a middleweight or a super middleweight puts on like 15 pounds, it's not as big a percentage of that actual weight.
Well, isn't that up to the governing bodies like the IBF do with the rehydration clauses, 10 pounds or whatever percentage it is? I think maybe the other...
Yeah, but you also don't know what time they weigh him for the rehydration. What if they weigh him at like noon the next day, or when they first come to the building at 3 o'clock? You know,
they weigh in the morning.
They weigh in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's bullshit. You can weigh in the morning at 8 o'clock and put on an extra 5-6 pounds.
Yeah, but every little helps. I do think all of them do need to do what IBF are doing, because it's true. Weight cutting is becoming crazy.
Because you're never going to get back to same day weigh-ins. It's just not going to happen. But these weights, they really are getting out of control. And then you hear things like Mayweather getting exemptions for IVs to rehydrate. Like, that's just fucking nuts, man. Like, that should only be in like rare, crazy cases. And if these people are cutting that much weight that they need IVs the next morning, you know what I mean? Either they're taking PEDs or it's just sickly, and that's not good. That's crazy.
Does this mean that Adrien Broner is starting a new trend with the rehydration clause?
Yo, my question is Adrien Broner going to have to adhere to the rehydration clause? Because he came in versus Molina at well over 154. He came in at like 158. He put on like 18 pounds the next day. Well, first off, he missed weight by a pound. So
it's funny you mentioned like Broner, Ruse, because he's the one who kind of I picture in my mind when I think about all these kind of guys.
When he's fighting Escobedo and he's like 18 pounds heavier than him?
Exactly, and I was watching the Verdejo fight. We'll get to that later, I'm sure, and I was thinking exactly the same thing. I'm thinking, this guy's not got any power. His power's overrated. It's just, he looks as if he's fighting a 12-year-old.
Who's got no power? Verdejo?
I mean, he's got power, but it's not as if he's like fucking Felix Trinidad with it. It's just because the guy he's fighting is so much smaller than him.
Nah, man.
And
I
it's
like
clearly
Verdejo.
the case with Walters as well.
I see your
Broner who started this.
No, I see your point, but I genuinely think Walters and Verdejo both got power. I think if the other governing bodies did start putting clauses in 10% or a certain percentage of their weight, I think it would help guys be at their more natural weight class, because putting on 15, 18 pounds, man, it's unfair to the other guy if he's not really a guy that puts on that much weight, if he's not cutting as much, because you're just a giant compared to him, like in the ring. Like Verdejo, you mentioned into, I agree. Like Najera looked fucking tiny compared to Verdejo.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very common though. 15 pounds, like honestly, that's pretty regular. So if you're a guy who doesn't cut weight, you're choosing not to weaken yourself. So you got to know you're coming in smaller. Like I told you, those Ukrainians don't lose any weight because they hate cutting weight. But at the same time, then you're going to know you're going to be coming in the ring, 5 to 10 pounds lighter than everybody you're fighting, because you're not willing to cut the weight. Otherwise you'd be fighting at 154 instead of 160. So that's a personal choice if you feel you're going to be stronger not cutting the weight in the first place. So that's really just a personal choice, because really standard is a week before weigh-in, you're going to be about 10 to 15 pounds out of weight. And that's standard pretty much for most fighters.
Kevin, I bet those Ukrainians are like nippy. They're like fast or flashy because they're not putting on 15 pounds of water weight in 24 hours.
Well, it's actually funny because the one guy is actually, that Kaitrov is kind of slow-footed and stuff, but they probably feel stronger though, because they feel probably fresher, because they're not waking up the next day or the day before feeling like dog shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
the point I was making was in regards to like Gil.
Yeah, or anybody like that. Yeah.
It's like Gil is like, he looks like a fucking, like, he's just drank two litres of Pepsi just before the fight. He's got the little kind of fucking water belly.
Put it this way. My wrestling team, we were really good. We were like one of the best high schools for a while. When we had like big tournaments and stuff, we would all cut weight and get all the way down. Like, say I would wrestle at like 97 pounds. But when we had dual meets against like teams that we knew we were going to smoke, then I would wrestle at 103 pounds. Like, there's no need to cut that weight for that. And I tell you, the difference between me wrestling at 103 and 97 is a big difference. Like, I felt like a world better. But at the end of the day, if I went into one of those tournaments at 103, I'd be wrestling somebody at the time was 2 years older than me, and probably at the time we got in the ring, like, 8 pounds heavier, 9 pounds heavier, whereas I would just be normal weight, You
used to be a flyweight like Nota.
I used to be a no weight.
All right.
I went from baby weight to fucking heavyweight.
Let's just quickly go back to Walters and Marriaga, because I didn't get Leon's and Hamada's and Roos's opinion. Leon, what did you think of the fight?
Yeah, I was a bit like, I've had to watch a lot of fights today, because I've missed most of my weekend, so I've just been watching fight after fight after fight today. But that was one of the more boring fights I watched today. But I think he looked like he was too... I think the weight thing, he looked so big in there. Just looked like a physical mismatch, like, to the eye. But, he did what he had to do. He won the fight. So, yeah, I mean, move on. We just want to see the big fight, We want to make sure he fights Lomo, don't we? That's all we really want to see. Stay busy fight, for me.
Just to kind of echo your point. Okay, Verdejo, he's a lightweight. Lomachenko beat him easily in the Olympics. So I just think he would do exactly the same to Walters. I know it's the Olympics, I know it's professionals, I know it's a different game, but just the size differential. You know what I mean? I think that's overstated. I just think Walters could come in at light heavyweight. It wouldn't matter. Lomachenko would just skull him.
Really?
Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Really? When we see how we got bullied versus Salido? Are we supposed to forget about that fight or something?
Nah, physically, he was doing all the kind of hip punches and all that shit. That was what was happening.
All right, but we see Waters got body shots, and legal ones as well. You say all that. You guys love to say that Lomo shit, but who's Lomo? All right, he done against Russell, but that guy that he didn't really impress me. That Rodriguez fight, that last fight, he was messing around. Try doing all that patter bullshit versus Waters. That's all I'm saying.
Listen. Darchinian against Walters is like a fly trying to eye in a fucking cow's head.
Look, Vic's got no right to be up at this weight. Vic's just trying to kill himself. I'm not taking anything away from him. No, that's different.
I just think he's a bully.
You see Vic.
Your boy's a bully.
Come on, man. I don't know what Vic's thinking.
He's a good fighter, but he's a bully. He's a good fighter, but he's a bully.
He's not forcing these guys to fight at his weight. Donaire had the super belt. You think you don't want it? He's supposed to say, "No, you're right, Donaire. I want to keep this paper belt I've got. You could chill with that suit."
Nicholas Welters. That's his name.
Hey, true, you're a hater, anyway, man. You're a hater.
Nah, listen, your boy's he's a good fighter, but he's a bully.
I think Walters is to Ari what Amir Khan is to Khan, bro.
He's not even, man. He's not even, because you could say that maybe about the girl, but no, not Walters. I'm just bringing him out because he's fight. That's the recent fight. Of course, we're talking about him. And Chu's over here. He thinks he's sly. Maybe the listeners don't realize Chu's was trying to throw a little jab. He's a homosexual. How these guys go.
Well, I'm calling him out. Chico's manager says he doesn't want it.
Well, he said he wanted it.
Lomachenko said he wants it, but his manager doesn't.
So which one don't want it?
I don't think. Why would you risk your...
So Lomo don't want it. So Lomo's... Did you just say Lomo's ducking, yeah? Lomo's ducking.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that if they ever do fight, it'll probably be at super featherweight, and I think that's going to be an advantage Walters.
Oh, no.
Advantage Walters or advantage Lomo?
Nah, because Lomo's barely a featherweight in my opinion. You know, he's a featherweight. He's definitely not super
fragile hands that keep getting broken every time he fights. That's what he needs to worry about.
I just hope the fight happens either way, because I just don't want it to fucking fade into,
That's all. Yeah, they should be. Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
all
it's
we
happening.
want.
I'm hearing Walters might be moved to Heyman, and that was apparently one of the main reasons. Again, he backed out that March fight. He was trying to defect.
You guys didn't you guys hear that here first? KH breaking news.
Yeah, we did. There we go. Shout out to KH.
What's the point in going to fight?
Rumors.
There's nothing up in that division. The division up. It just seems.
You say that, but Pedraza's there.
Everybody's just trying to get those Heyman paychecks while they're still available. Yeah. They know he's got another 2 years of blowing this guy's venture capitalist money. That's all.
You can't knock them. You have to remember these guys are, it's a living, and they see Heyman giving out crazy checks. We see Guerrero fighting bums and making $1 million.
No, you're right. They need to get that money before Al Heyman's found dead in the ditch in about 3 years when he's blown all that money. Where's my money?
That's good stuff.
All these boxers are like, Kevin Laying, all right? All these boxers are like spoiled kids trying to spend their daddy's credit card before they get spotted. It's quite. They're trying to get an easy paycheck.
No, but all I'm saying is, it's a shame. You want your boxer to think, if I beat this Lomo, it'd be massive for him. That could be such a big career win. He'd never get a bigger win than that win. So it'd be a shame if he went up a division or defected to Heyman and not, because he's got a chance of beating him. So it'd just be a shame for that fight not to happen. But hey, fuck it, that's what happens, isn't it?
Hamada, your thoughts quickly about Walters versus Marriaga?
I didn't watch the fight in its entirety. I just saw some highlights. So just not much to talk home about, really.
All right, no worries. Move on to the undercard. Felix Verdejo, kind of talked about a bit earlier. I was impressed. Bit of a mismatch. I've said it before. I think he needs to kind of step up now. I was looking at lightweight today, rankings wise, and there's a few good fights I think that could be made. But I think that was his 18th fight, so he definitely needs to step up. But I was just really impressed with his selection of punches and how he was mixing them up. He'd throw like a lead, right uppercut, left hook, right hand. Then he'd throw a left hook, right uppercut, left hook again. It just mixing them up so well, and his patience was really good as well. There was rounds where I think in the back of mind he was thinking, I might have to go 10 in this round. The first time that he's had to go 10, and he was taking parts of the round off, catching a break and then jumping in, throwing combinations. So it wasn't like he would just take a whole round off to kind of save a bit of gas in the tank. And he dropped Najera with a beautiful. I think he dropped him twice. The first time he dropped him was a beautiful left uppercut, I think, after like a 3-shot combination, and just really impressed with this guy, and a lot of people on the bandwagon. I can see why. But yeah, definitely need to start stepping them up.
Yeah, Verdejo's he's massive. He's massive at the weight class, like I was saying earlier. I just think that, like, for the first knockdown, he got like a nice hooper cut, as Jim Lampley said on the telecast.
Upper hook.
Upper hook. Is that what he said?
No, yeah,
that was nice.
That's what I call it. That's what Roy calls it as well.
What is that? What they call like the 45, the 4-5 punch, the 45?
Yeah.
It's nice, but I mean, hooker cut's better. 45's just a number.
45 sounds like a gun.
The Mexican kid he was fighting, the 12-year-old, he just kept going straight, and he just kept going in straight lines. Don't get me wrong, he was a nice fighter. He had nice, fast hands, and
that's that Bam Bam nickname. When you're nicknamed Bam Bam, you have to fight the same way as Rios.
And he did kind of look like Rios a little bit. I thought facially.
Yeah, he did. It was weird.
He actually
where he got the nickname from. But.
He actually fought a bit like Rios as well, just the way just taking a beating.
Did you guys like the fight though? I thought it was a pretty fun fight.
I enjoyed it. Just very one-sided, but I really enjoyed Verdejo, man, watching him.
It was a good fight, right?
Yeah. Just built too.
But it was one-sided.
Yeah.
The thing I liked about Verdejo is when he started backpedaling at times within rounds, he would still like sit down and fire off some shit before he spun out and then like reset. So it's like he didn't just back up to back up. Like he fucking still threw some shit.
Yeah, and like we were saying about Zlaticanin, Valdez really digs those shots in, man. Some of those body shots, and like it's throwing like check left hooks as a counter, and like check left hook as a lead, and it's just everything he was throwing was fucking landing, and his accuracy was quite decent as well, man. Like the only time he was kind of missing a lot of shots is when like Najera was hurt, and then Najera would kind of like duck and dive, and a few times Valdez would try and jump on him, and he was missing, but then he just kind of recompose himself and just start boxing him again. So really impressed.
I've seen Verdejo live, I think 3 times, and I didn't see him live this fight. And I would like to have seen him because he did look huge on TV. And when I saw him, he looked huge. In 2 of the fights I saw him, he fought like basically a midget. He fought a guy that was like, he was head and shoulders above, height wise. And this time the guy seemed a little closer in height, but Verdejo is just huge for the weight. So I would like to see I don't know. I would like to see him against somebody a little bigger. But Top Rank, that's what they do when they get their guys. They move their biggest prospects slow. They don't want any stumbling blocks. They're very calculated with that, and they've been doing it like that for 30 years for their biggest guys. De La Hoya, they started moving quick just because he was so you could risk losing with De La Hoya because he had such a draw.
Yeah.
Is maybe Ari and Cam will know this. The guy is a better. Is he a lightweight? Is it Flanagan?
Yeah, he's fighting Flanagan.
Yeah.
But I heard he's been fighting at welterweight recently. So again, maybe he's doing something you don't like, Chew. He's about to drain himself to make lightweight.
Oh, I mean, fucking that makes it a fair fight then, because I definitely know Verdejo does that. But just to say Verdejo, like Kev said, he's got nice footwork. You know what I mean? He was kind of turning him and catching the guy with check hooks, and he can punch off the back foot. All that kind of shit. I like him. He's got skills, man. He's got skills.
I like the guys who have like every punch in the book, like the offensive arsenal. They throw everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked how every time, his name Najera, every time he had a bit of success, like Verdejo would quickly fight back on him, like try and pipe him down straight away. Mentally that most certainly does something to you. Every time you have a little bit of success, Verdejo just goes out extra level on you, just like, just to say, all right, calm down.
He took the plate right away from him.
Yeah, what I mean? I like that. I like
Crawford
that. That's a pretty good mentality.
Crawford does that as well.
Yeah. These guys, the future's bright. We see guys like this, obviously Spence, he's in that kind of new wave. So we got guys, we could see who the next guys are really, next champions. If we could put
it seems like they're moving Spence ultra slow. Like, what the fuck?
I don't understand that.
I thought this was the year that he was going to fight like a Collazo and a Guerrero and like, what the fuck?
He's fighting that Roberto Garcia. I don't think he's ever fought anyone decent, beat anyone decent. But, that's a decent fight, I'd say. After that, I still say Guerrero, after that. But I don't think Guerrero will take that. But yeah, back to Verdejo, yeah, man. Obviously, the bandwagon's full. I can't get on that. But I'll watch from, I'll respect him. But, that bandwagon's been full up since when he turned pro. Them Puerto Ricans, shout out to them. They get behind their guys. I saw pictures afterwards where he looked like he had a little parade down New York or something. So, and he's only got that little Mickey Mouse belt where he's got that continental thing. But
that was the next day, the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Oh yeah, it was the parade. Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
No, I saw pictures on the boxing scene of him, loads of people, and he had a little. I thought he was parading around like.
No, that's the thing that Aram did with Cotto a lot was, and that's why I've been to so many Cotto fights, is because the day before the Puerto Rican Day Parade, they would have a fight at MSG, like the Zab Judah fight, I think the Clotty fight. So yeah, I've been to a couple of those. I think maybe the Clotty fight was December actually. I can't remember, but yeah, a lot of times that's what he'd do. He'd fight the Saturday before the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and then he'd go to the parade. And that's why he was able to put like 13, 14, 16,000 people in the Garden.
Mm. Yeah, just to echo on that point as well, Kev. That's the difference between Top Rank and Al Heyman. I was actually thinking about this today. Like Verdejo, ticket seller. Even Shawn Monaghan, ticket seller. Like Top Rank have got a system where
Crawford.
They've got ticket.
Crawford in Nebraska.
Ticket sales. You'll never get like a Robert Guerrero kind of fight where the stadium's empty. That just means that they've not got fighters on the undercard who are fucking selling tickets.
And that's why it was a good thing what he did with Wilder in Alabama. Try to get that, but the thing is he just shit the bed with the opponent. It's like dude can't ever he can't walk and chew bubblegum aiming cards, you know? You get the venue right, it's like Broner versus Porter. Good fight. It's a Battle of Ohio in Vegas. So you're going to have half the people there on comped and free tickets, and they're going to move them all to one section, so there's going to be no energy in the place. And then you're going to have a catch weight where one of the fighters might be walking dead in the ring.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But Hamada or anyone else want to finish up on Verdejo?
Maybe Verdejo can get the winner of Rumble on the Humble.
Tommy Coyle versus Luke Campbell.
I just wanted to get that out there. Yeah, Rumble on the Humble. Brilliant.
Him and Campbell.
Yeah.
Two Olympians, you know.
Oh.
That'd be a good fight, you know, but I think Verdejo would beat him quite easy,
you know. Verdejo will take it because Campbell, we know he's had, out of the ring, he's been, on and off, so that's not his fault though, obviously. But I think Verdejo, I think he's ready, man.
I think he's ready. Stepped up now.
I think he's ready because lightweight's a bit weak right now. You know, Crawford just left it. Crawler's about to fight for. I don't think Cotto will win. You know
what there are in that there are some good names to move him along, so they can move him along quickly with a few names. So they should get on with it.
Wait, who's the WBO champ? Oh no, sorry, that's going to be Sepita versus
Bay or Dennis. What's the name? Yeah,
I guess they're going to go WBO. You know, because it's Arab. So he might be a fight with that Zepita guy. I don't know.
I think Petrov would be a good fight.
Yeah, good to see the level. Yeah, good step up.
Yeah,
because Petros is on a good run as well.
Yeah,
that's a good shout, Cam.
Hamada?
No,
go on, sorry to you.
No, and you go.
I just wanted to get Hamada's opinion.
Yo,
you see this fight?
Hamada, you eating?
Nah, I'm not eating.
No, so it's Ramadan, isn't it? You man are munching late.
Nah, it's not started. It's still Thursday. But I just seen the highlights. I ain't seen the fight in this entirety. I didn't watch that whole HBO card.
All right, no worries. Okay, let's talk about Shawnee for a quick sec. Got my boy Kev on the line, obviously. Kev, what did you think of your friend's performance? You know what? I was impressed considering he only fought like 5 weeks ago.
And you know what's crazy about that too is my girl right away saw and was like, "Yo, Sean's legs are real skinny." I was like, "Yeah, because he just had a camp 5 weeks ago, and usually he has big, thick legs, so he was kind of like drained a little bit, and I was worried about him overtraining, and he didn't perform that great his last fight, I was kind of critical of it, and but yeah, he definitely did a lot better this fight, and I think he's fallen a little bit in love with, he was landing great right hands and counter right hands too. But like, remember a few fights ago, Cam, when he first started stepping up from like the journeyman to some guys who actually won fights, like you noticed that he had good body shots and he was throwing really hard body shots. And now he kind of was going away from that. He hasn't been throwing as many body shots his last three fights. And I noticed it before the Vanda fight, like in sparring for Curtis Stevens, like, he was able to start countering over jabs and throwing that right hand. And like before, it was either all blocking or all offense. Like, he would just stiffen up and use his gloves. And I was like, oh man, you're getting better. You're actually, countering punches now. You're anticipating stuff. And I think he like fell in love with that because that's his go-to move. And he likes his right hand. And of course, once he started digging to the body, that's where he ended up getting the knockout. So I think he needs to, I don't think he should even be throwing left hooks to the head. Just use his jab, and when he's throwing left hooks, just bring him to the body. Yeah, and use his jab a lot more.
When I first started watching Shawnee, like his best punch for me was the left hook to the body, man. He was hurting guys with the left hook to the body, and like you say, I think he needs to use it a bit more. Go back to it a bit. Anyone else want to have an opinion on Shawnee's fight?
I watched the fight. I watched it just recently, just in the last couple of hours, just to kind of catch up. You know, he calls himself Irish Shawn Monaghan, but he doesn't need to call himself Irish. We know he's Irish. Name like Shawn Monaghan. And just to class in the fight, I think, you know, I actually like him offensively. I want to offer some constructive criticism. Like he's a good fighter offensively, but to me, he's not got the physical gifts to sustain it. Just in terms of like he'll land a shot, but then he'll get caught with one, just because he can't roll his head or whatever. You know what I mean? He's too focused on.
And the guy commenting on the fight said that too. He doesn't roll with the punches. So when he fights a guy with heavy hands that hits clean, and he's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a lot different than these, you know, because he fights big punches in sparring, but you're gonna find it's a lot different without the headgear and the 18-ounce, 16-ounce gloves. Because I think it was Monty Barrett or whoever was on the broadcast with Mike Woods was like, he just stiffens up. He doesn't roll with the punches. So he takes a lot of them square. Even if they're not perfectly clean, it's not like he's moving at all. He's just getting them. Like, you know, if a guy who's a clubber like Pascal, like, you know, clubs at him, it's going to be a big difference, you know.
And I thought the combinations to finish it was nice. You know, the nice left hook to the body. It was a nice combo. And like you say, he's got a good body attack. The only thing is, man, I've got to be honest with you, Kev. He's very free. I think he's not a light heavyweight. I think he should be a super middleweight. Looking at him.
He walks around at like 190, so.
I mean, that's just me being honest.
He only looked a little skinny this fight because he just had a training camp. He just fought 4 weeks ago.
He's 5'11".
So he had two training camps back to back, and he kind of overtrained.
Yeah, he did look a bit small, didn't he? He looked smaller.
His legs looked real skinny. He looked real small.
Because I'm going to say, have you spoken to him? Cause did he get hurt in the first round? Because he looked like he got a little hurt in the first round.
Yeah,
he got rocked, didn't he? He took that well,
you could see it clearly. His legs buckled.
He took
it
well.
It was the first punch of the fight. The dude threw a left. It looked like a jab, and he ended up turning it over into a hook. And Shawnee's legs just buckled. And my roommate was at the fight. You know, I hooked it. You know, he took the tickets, and he said, it was like a whole gas. Everybody's like, oh, the train ride's over.
you said it before. He kind of braces before he takes shots, doesn't he? Like
exactly, and that's why the guy went with the jab and turned it over into a hook. And like you said, it just boom.
But he did well to take that shot, you know.
Yeah,
to come back from it.
Yeah, but there's no way he can. There's no way he can make super middleweight. He walks around at 190 with like 6-7% body fat, and he's all muscle. Like, there's no way he can make 168. And he's not small. Like I said, when I was with him in Vegas and we were next to Adonis Stevenson and Pascal, he was bigger than both of them. And those are two of the best middleweights and light heavyweights in the world. Like a guy like Fonfara will be taller than him, but won't be as thick as him.
Okay.
The thing is with that, I just want to say, right, Pascal, I think that's why Pascal has kind of hit his glass ceiling in the light heavyweight division, because he can't reach a Kovalev. He has to lunge in to reach Kovalev. And when he lunges in, Kovalev clips him. Adonis Stevenson, he's a freaking nature, man. He's got like arms like fucking, like Mr. Richards from the Fantastic Four. He's just like fucking, you can't get past his arms. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like the physical what Shawn Monaghan said he's got 72-inch reach.
Yeah, and just his physical limitations in that he's not fast enough and he doesn't have enough power. So he doesn't do any one thing. You know what I mean? He hits hard against journeymen. What's that going to do against the top guys? And he's not fast enough. Like, you know what I mean? So he's going to have to, if he steps up in class, the only way he's going to be able to win is if he could take another guy's best punch and wear him down with volume and good punching. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what it comes down to. And like, although like someone told me Mario compared him to Mike Lee, I guess, they're both white and they both box, but Mike Lee's fighting 4 and 6 rounders and he's fighting guys with 8 fights. And, Zuniga, who isn't a big name, but like he just went 12 rounds with DeGale, 2 years ago. Like, so he's not a bum. Like this guy's been in with a lot of top fighters and a lot of top fighters did knock him out. But like I said, 2 years ago, he went 12 rounds with DeGale.
But I will say, I got him. But if you've seen as DeGale fight, I don't know if any of the Brits remember Cameron, but that they had a terrible ref in that fight. He should have stopped the fight where the girl had him, he was killing him on the ropes, and the ref jumped in as if he kind of like did a Butte thing where he looked like he was about to stop it. But then he froze.
Like kind of like the Pacquiao Algieri thing too.
He froze up, and then he gave him a standing count, and then he wouldn't let the girl go back in. It's a weird fight. And then the girl did the thing in the middle rounds where he kind of went off.
Exactly. And this is the type of guy that, like, that's what he is. He gives tough rounds. He's been in there with quality guys for the last 10 years.
He's a very tough.
So, and that, yeah, exactly. And that's what he is. And that's like where Shawnee is with, and I know like Chew always says, they got to step him up. But the problem is, like the guy Sullivan Barrero keeps calling him out. It's like, dude, you can't even sell out your living room. So when Shawnee's going to step up in quality of fight, shouldn't he step up for a payday? Like, you know what I mean? Like right now he's making a ton of money. So it's like, why is he going to step up and fight a guy who can't let him make any more money? Like he's got to fight a top guy when he steps up so he can make more money than he's making now. So it's like, a guy like Barrera, he's going to make the same amount of money as he did fighting Zuniga. So like, that's kind of like, why do that?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, everybody's got mortgages to pay, bills to pay. So if Shawn Monaghan eventually steps up, he's got to make it, like some kind of financially worthwhile to him. So I get it. But that division is just loaded with talent.
Yeah, and the young talent coming up. Did you guys watch, I'm sure Cam will get to it, my boy Alvarez and Beterbiev fought.
Yeah, they didn't
those
show
are the two young guys.
Was Alvarez televised?
No, Alvarez wasn't televised in the UK. Did you guys get it televised in the States?
Nah, I didn't get it televised.
Yeah, we got Beterbiev televised.
Dudencho, whatever, I can't say it. But he's actually quite decent. When I saw Alvarez killed him in 2, I was very surprised.
I went unanimous decision.
Yeah, who did he fought? What's his name? Rhino Liebenberg, or no? He fought Dachenko, right?
Yeah, he fought.
Yeah, Shawnee was going to fight Dachenko because his manager, who's actually managing Vince Caruso now. Vince Caruso's the manager. He's actually managing Kovalev's next opponent. Was trying to get that fight, and he was being real respectful to Shawn and knew like he can get his guy a career high payday for somebody who's not going to, kill him. But he didn't win the Muhammadi fight. And then that's another one of the fights that fell through for Shawn. And then, of course, Muhammadi's not going to fight him because he got Kovalev. So, like, that was one of those things that fell through. So I knew the guy. He's not that good, but, like, he's somebody that I would expect Shawn to beat. Most of the guys I would favor, over Shawn. And I expect Shawn to beat this guy. So I knew Alvarez was going to kill him, but I didn't think he was going to kill him like that. Alvarez is a tough dude. Alvarez versus Beterbiev is like a dream fight for me the next year or so.
Yeah, but who's the other guy you keep mentioning? Barrera? Sullivan Barrera, is that his name?
Yeah, Sullivan Barrera. He's another, good light heavyweight that's coming up. He's the one who fought Jeff Lacey on ESPN. And now he's fighting. He's fighting the guy that on that boring ESPN card on Kovalev versus Pascal. He's fighting the guy who lost, Lepkin. Yeah, so he's fighting him, which is like his step-up fight, But he should win because like Lepkin got destroyed against like one of those guys like Glaskov or one of the European guys. So there's a lot of young talent, and of course Beterbiev is still out there beating shit out of people.
All right, we're talking about Beterbiev and we're talking about Alvarez, so we'll talk about the Friday card. Spike TV. Shout out to Spike TV UK. For the guys in the States, it's still named Spike, but it's basically a different channel. It's a UK version of Spike, but mostly content. Mostly content from a channel we have here in the UK called Channel 5. But props, man, because Box Nation didn't pick up the Lara card, and Sky didn't pick it up, so it was good that another channel jumped in and put live boxing on TV. It's a shame it wasn't HD, but it was better than streaming it.
I don't give a shit if it's not HD, man. I got to lie down in my bed and watch that. I watch an official feed on my TV. That was nice. Shout out to Spike, man. We don't get official feeds like that, Yep. So I hope they get all the PBCs on Spike. Fuck Sky with what on hauling. That's what I say. Even though the commentary was a bit boring, I have to say.
Yeah, the commentary team wasn't the greatest, but
we didn't get the full package though, did we? Because we didn't get to see them like talking in between the fights at ringside and stuff, did we?
Yeah, I think we were just getting an international
shots,
feed because I think the guys in the States were getting Tava doing commentary, but we weren't getting Tava.
I realised that. Yeah, we didn't get Tava.
We got some funny shots of just like of the arena from really far back, and you could see it was really empty.
But you know what happens though, Leon? That's how like the international feeds are. So like if Box Nation are getting it, they get that feed, and then while they're showing those shots, they'll go back to the studio and have a conversation.
Fill in, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but because it's like there's no studio there, they were just showing all that shit.
Yeah, it looked so weird. It looked, It looked like proper Eurosport business.
But it was nice to see like good quality boxing on a Friday night on a channel that you've not really seen before.
Yeah.
And the Lara card, let's talk about Lara and Rodriguez.
Well, we ain't even spoke about Beterbiev, man.
No, yeah, we'll talk about the main event first, innit?
Okay, go on.
I was
impressed.
I
didn't watch it because I went to sleep.
Yeah, you were saying you only stayed up for Beterbiev and you were going to sleep.
I'm not staying up till 4 a.m. to watch Lara, because if I tried, he would have knocked me out inside 3 rounds anyway.
Harry, to be fair,
Lara couldn't knock anyone out. Come on, bro.
Anyway, man.
I was shot.
Nah, but let me give my opinion first. I was impressed with Lara. I know it's Delvin Rodriguez and stuff, but my only criticism with Lara is it's just the middle rounds where he takes off. You know, his output goes really low. He doesn't throw enough. But at times he was throwing combinations. I said it to Chemo earlier on the weekend, and he was like, "Nah, he was throwing combinations." And I rewatched a bit of the fight today, and he was like throwing double left hands and finishing with the right hand. But it's just like I said, those rounds he takes off, and he doesn't have the killer instinct, man. He just doesn't. He looks too happy to just coast and just win on points. Like he really should have got Rodriguez out of there, man. You know, like he should have won TKO or a KO victory, but it's like he doesn't have. Even when he's in the corner, it's like you see it's Ronnie Shields talking to him, and he's just like you're not even looking at him. He's just like thinking what he's going to do himself, and I find it a shame, man, because he's a talented guy, man. He's like, his straight left and down the pipe, and his general accuracy altogether, like his jabs and his straight left. I don't think he throws the right hook enough. He is very left hand happy, but apart from that, man, it's a shame he gets so much criticism because he's got a good resume as well, Lara, man. Like he's fought a lot of good guys. It's a shame he stinks out the place sometimes.
What do you mean? It's a shame. It's his own fault.
If you look at it, he started off in the first 3 rounds. I was like, all right, he's going to get him out of here. And then he just took his foot. And then even when he hurt him in the 6th round, just went back same pace. Didn't show any sense to think, yeah, that killer instinct, like you said. Right, I'm going to get him out of here now. Got him hurt. Get him out of there. Because people are trying to tell me that he's tough, but you should be getting rid of him. He's not that tough.
Yo, Chu just wrote something in the chat. He's like, Cam's biased towards Southpaw shaking my hand.
You're part of the Southpaw Union.
Yeah, I need to start my own podcast, only Southpaw discussions. Me and Jake Gyllenhaal.
What was that part in Rocky 2 where he's like, I hate Southpaws. They ought to outlaw Southpaws. Because why didn't you tell me this before? I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh, shit.
No, but I know your point, Chu. Yeah, it is his own fault. I just don't know why he does it. Because it is fucking prize fighting, and if you put impressive victories, then you're gonna get bigger fights. But having said that, he always finds himself in big fights just by calling people out anyway. So I guess he's not too bothered.
And what does he do when he gets a big fight? He fails. He's a waste of talent, man.
Yo, Roos, you gonna help me out or what, bro?
Nah, I think I like what Lara was doing, man. I mean, everyone wants to watch, something different. Me, I was like, wow, I was mesmerized, man. I'm like, you know what? That's how you box,
Yeah, but that's what you do. He does that when he's fighting someone that no one's worrying about and who can't punch. And when he fights a real threat, what does he do? He gets his bike out, puts it into 5th gear, and gets buzzes around, doesn't he?
I mean, like, I'm a bit biased because, that's the kind of thing Lara kind of teaches you how to, even when you're out on the streets,
how to sleep.
I've had 1 or 2 incidents in the streets, and I had to do a Lara. It's like, you know what? I beat up the guy.
Well, you ran away?
No.
Got on your bike.
Not quite. But it's like I had to beat up the guy just enough, not to have full on excessive force. So even when the police comes there, I can justify my self-defense. And Lara does it the perfect way, and I'm like, shit, yeah, that's what I need to be doing, yeah.
But Lara doesn't have to worry about the police. At some point, you have to stand and fight.
Well,
so when it comes to the big fights, he runs and he doesn't stand and fight, and then he loses and he moans.
You said that, Leon, but remember he ran away from Cuba, so he's still got that thing in him. It's like he's scared of authority, so maybe that's why.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
So but yeah, like I enjoyed it. What he was doing. The fundamentals, but I think put more combos. And follow up on the combos. Follow it up. Like if you give him 1, 2, follow it up with another pa 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 pa. And step back, then do the walking and give him angles, And also I think, him not being able to speak English, it doesn't add up to his charisma, it doesn't add up to his stock. So, a lot of things really look down on him, the language barrier, and the style of fighting also.
You call yourself the American Dream, though. You should at least try to learn the language, right?
Yeah, he's learning.
Oh, is he? All right.
Yeah, he's trying.
Because I don't ever knock people when they try and stuff, because it's like if I went to fucking someplace where they spoke Spanish, I wouldn't be able to pick that shit up for years either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kid Gallibom in the chat said Lara is a trick. And I think he's right. Because Lara is kind of like Gary was saying earlier about Verdejo, that guy had a little bit of success and then the guy just kind of put him in his place. Verdejo put him in his place. He just beat it out of him. He got angry and he beat it out of him. Lara's kind of like that. If the guy starts landing, Lara will fucking turn it up a little bit. Just enough to make the guy go back into his shell. And then you're back to the silent agreement, that Shane Mosley and them used to do. But it's kind of like, okay, Lara's winning this fight, but he's not going to try and knock you out. But if you try and knock Lara out, he'll fucking knock you out. So you're left with this fucking boring match where they're both kind of looking at each other and Lara's landing straight lefts and nothing really happens. And it's just it's boring. He's a boring fighter. I fucking hate watching Lara fight, man. Because he could knock them out anytime he wants. He just chooses to fucking, I don't know, just keep them going. Maybe he's too kind-hearted. I don't know what it is.
It's also bad matchmaking though, because last fight is Ishe Smith, now it's Delvin Rodriguez. They're not exciting guys themselves, So
that's true.
You need to put him in with maybe pressure fighters or something. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing at super welterweight. Like, what's the point of these last? Like against Smith and this guy. They're not good guys, man. Like I know. Is he getting ducked or what? I can't remember. Does he have He has one of them regular belts, doesn't he? Like WBA. And he can't fight the Charlos. Yeah. That's a problem. Really, if he's staying at the weight, he has to fight Andrade or try and think of something new. Maybe go up. I don't know. But
or Liam. What about Liam? Fight Liam Smith.
I don't want to see that shit.
He ain't fighting Andrade. Andrade ain't fighting anybody except shadowboxing with interviewers. Throwing Chuck Liddell left hands.
I don't know what Andrade's doing. He's letting his prime go, and it's very disappointing.
And then Lara called him out. He wants Cotto. He wants Triple G. He wants Floyd. Let him get his wish. Let him get somebody. Let somebody try to put him out.
But why? Why does he deserve it? He doesn't do enough to deserve these fights. And when he gets in them, but
so he doesn't get the Floyd fight. Does Daniel Gill deserve Triple G?
No. But
does Monroe or Highland deserve Triple G or Cotto?
I'm not talking about Triple G, am I?
But he called out all three of them: Cotto, Triple G, and Floyd.
Yeah, but he calls out people all the time. Then he gets them, and then he runs away from them. I don't see the point giving him a big fight. He's just a waste of time.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
He will fail. He will fail every time he gets a big fight. He will fail, and he has, and he will.
Why? Because of bad judging.
I didn't watch the Delvin fight.
No, because he doesn't have it in him to win the big fights.
Yeah, I scored Canelo over him 8-4.
He robbed himself. Hamada.
Nah, man. Listen,
He
if he fought Canelo the way he fought on Friday, it would have looked like the Floyd fight all over again.
But can he fight that way against someone like
but he can't fight that way against guys throwing body shots like that.
Let's not forget who this guy was fighting, man. Delvin fucking Rodriguez. Come on, man.
Yeah, Delvin is not good.
The man with a punching bag.
The guy George Alcine.
I hope from now on, this is how Lara fights. Because if he fights like this, the way he fought on Friday, he'll win all these fights that you're talking about.
He fights like this when he fights guys that are like Ishii Smith.
Yeah, but I'm talking about from now on. Whoever he fights from now on, if he fights this way, his performance was excellent. It was a
Bottom line is,
masterclass.
you don't like getting hit. Lara don't like getting hit.
Who does?
Well, nobody does. But when people get hit, they trade and they do something about it. He just turns his back and runs like
it's boxing. It's hit and not get hit.
Okay,
that's the name of the game.
And that's how you wind up on Spike instead of NBC's primetime.
Ooh.
Khan was on Spike.
Oh, yeah. Because Khan was boring his last couple fights.
that don't mean anything. Khan was on Spike. Khan's meant to be a big name in America.
How does that not mean anything?
Because Khan's a big name in America.
How is he a big name in America? What has he ever done in America to prove he's a big name?
According to himself.
Okay, that's himself. He's never sold any tickets. He's never drew any ratings.
No, he draws ratings.
Kev,
I'm sure he draws ratings in the UK, but in America he doesn't.
No, he draws. Didn't he just?
Guy, he got beat by fucking Korobov and Andy Lee. He got beat head to head by Korobov and Andy Lee. Period.
Yeah, but come on, Kev. You know HBO's in more homes than Showtime.
That doesn't matter. It's the same amount of people watching the fights. Look at what's going on. Spike TV is getting the same ratings as HBO. It's the same boxing fans watching both. It's been proven. Adrien Broner fights on HBO and Showtime. He has the same ratings. Wilder pulled huge ratings on Showtime. Everybody who makes ratings gets them on Showtime too. It's like it's the same boxing fan. Maybe 20% of boxing fans that have HBO don't have Showtime also. And that's because people like me who canceled Showtime because it sucks.
Hey, come on, man. Ray Donovan's about to come back.
I didn't like it. What kind of people are you, Ray? What are you doing? What about your kids?
That's a good impression, bro.
Fucking bitch is always complaining about money. She don't even got a job. I'd be like, yo, shut the fuck up.
That's below the belt, Kev.
Yo, listen. Anyways, I saw a great performance from Lara. I don't know about you. You don't say he's boring, but that performance I enjoyed. His one against Canelo and all these other guys, I didn't enjoy, where he was running around and giving a lot of movement. But this was quite different. At times, he was looking like Pernell Whitaker in there. He was just playing with Delvin. But you look alright. He is Delvin, so hopefully when he fights better opposition, he does the same.
No, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Cotto either.
Well, you need to chill.
How? Why?
I wouldn't mind seeing Lara fight Cotto, but Cotto ain't fighting no crap.
So you're telling me at times when he was ducking down, going all the way down low to evade punches wasn't sweet PS.
Pernell Worker.
So I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't working down my shit because he's fighting and Rodriguez. I'm not wasting my time with that. I ain't got time. Come on, you feel I've got time to waste to watch him have fun with a Delvin Rodriguez.
Yo, what's funny is when Miguel Cotto smoked Delvin Rodriguez, everybody was like shitting on it, like it wasn't even a credible fight. And now that Lara beats him in 12 rounds, it's like credible all of a sudden.
No.
I'm saying.
You know what's funny last night?
I'm talking about his performance. His
performance. When you're fighting a bum like that, you're supposed to be getting him outside 6. When you're with food, you eat it. You don't play around with it. Guys play around with bum.
Tell him, Ari, you don't get paid overtime in that ring, man.
Listen, it's just that way he's he's not aggressive like that. You know what I'm trying to say? He fought out of his comfort zone. He threw like 700 punches, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he fought out of his comfort zone, and still it's not enough for people. Like,
that is high output. 700 punches is good output.
That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Alright, guys.
He fought out of his comfort zone.
Honestly, I didn't watch the fight, so I'm not saying.
Still want to criticize him. Is it because he's Cuban? Is it because
because he's Cuban?
What is it?
Hold up, man.
because he's a waste of talent. He's wasting his talent. His career will be an epic fail. I'm tired of him, man.
You know when Ari said that I don't play with food in front of me, I could just imagine Ari and Nando's, boy, like just going at it.
No, I've got to be honest. It's because he's Cuban.
Exactly, it is. It's because he's Cuban, and it's because he's a southpaw, and it's because he's black, and because he fights this kind of way. It's the truth.
Stop the boats. No more boats from Cuba. No more.
So we're all xenophobic racists.
No, it's not. It's not.
Is that what you're saying?
No, but
he's a skilled bum. He's a skilled bum.
No, he's not no skilled bum. He's not a bum.
He's a skilled bum. He's skilled, but he loses.
That's an oxymoron, Leo, man. How could you be a skilled bum?
You can be a skilled bum. You can be a skilled bum.
He's good at hustling money.
He may be a skilled bum, but if he fought Cotto or Triple G, he'd be their best opponent in a long time.
Exactly. I want him to fight Triple G.
I want him to fight Triple G. Please, let him fight Triple G.
See, this is what I mean. You want him to fight Triple G, not because it's a step up or it's a good opponent for Triple G. You just want to see Lara to die. That's what you don't want. You don't want him to die. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what hate is. This is
no. Come on.
He's asking to fight. He's asking for the fight.
Exactly, Leon. If you ask for it, you get what you deserve.
This is what all you fans want. All you fans want Lara to finish his career. You want him to retire, and you want him to get hurt badly. And this is what you all want. You know, all.
Yeah, but Marder, are you serious? Marder, he wants it as well.
It's the truth.
He wants it as well.
Everyone, I've been seeing on Twitter people saying, I hope Lara fights Golovkin. And you know why they want that fight to happen? Not because, it's a good style matchup for Triple G. That's how Triple G deals with Lara. No, it's because they want to see Lara knocked out. It's the truth.
Yeah, it's true.
You like going against Spain these days, man. You did it last week with that Molina bullshit, and this week you're on this Lara love. The guy called him out in the ring. So what? Are we supposed to say, nah, Lara, it's all right. We like you. We don't want you to get in there with Golovkin. If you want the fight, go take it. Like you said, people shit on Golovkin, say he doesn't fight enough credible guys. You know, Lara's done things at super welter. He says he wants to fight. Go take it. We saw what Monroe. He's got a similar style. Lara's saying, after that fight, I could beat him. Go show us. What's wrong with you? He had a close fight with Canelo. He beat Paul Williams. He got robbed.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
What?
And
you keep talking about this. You got this love for him, but you don't want him to fight the best.
Listen, he fights at 154.
He's not ready for the test, man.
He's calling him out because obviously he wants a big fight in it because he knows that he's an avoided fighter himself. So obviously he's gonna call out these guys and he'll probably take the Golovkin fight, but honestly, I don't see it happening because there's a divide in boxing, and he's on one side, and Golovkin's on the other side.
We know he won't get it because he's Heyman, and Heyman most likely we don't want to put him in there with. But he still wants it, so what's wrong with him? It's funny, he's like, you're acting like a parent for him, because the guy wants to fight, and you're like, no.
No, because I know it can't happen.
Well, that's his fault for pulling him out.
You know what really annoyed me in the PBC broadcast? They were trying to say that Lara was pound for pound number one, or potentially. They were just saying that. They were just saying that constantly. They were trying to propagandize Lara. He's beat no one. He's beat absolutely no one. He lost to Canelo.
Whoa. He beat Austin Trout. Austin Trout's a good win.
It's a good win. I'll give you that. He beat Paul Williams.
He beat Angulo, but he got dropped a couple times.
Prime Angulo.
Angulo's a bum.
No, Angulo's not a bum.
And he struggled against Angulo, and he lost against Molina.
He didn't lose. It was a draw.
Yeah, he got a gift there. Molina won that shit. That's a debatable fight. What I'm trying to say is he's the most boring fighter in the most boring division. There's about 7 guys I could name in that division who just I've got the same reaction for when I think of Lara.
And 3 of them are in the same camp. Him and the Trollo brothers.
Exactly. I mean, it's not
Ronnie Shields.
I'm not singling out the guy.
Yep. It's obviously Ronnie Shields.
It probably is.
I don't know. Ronnie Shields also had like Rocky Juarez and some other little dudes he used to throw.
I don't know. I just think he lets these guys be boring. Cause I remember hearing him say something about it's the boxing school and stuff. You don't want to adapt. He has to adapt to the pros, man. We don't want to see
Ronnie
that.
Shields, though, he was like assistant trainer to a lot of really good fighters, too.
Wasn't he assistant to Stewart?
Duva, right?
I thought he was with Emmanuel Stewart, wasn't
I thought it was a Fat Boy Duva.
I might be wrong.
The one who was Meldrick Taylor's trainer and shit.
Did you just say Lara needs to adapt to the pros?
Yes.
I think he fights like a professional.
No, he doesn't.
I do. He doesn't throw these.
Didn't you notice
punches.
Lara was looking like fucking Pernell Whitaker yesterday?
Ari, he fights like a professional cyclist.
Oh shit!
That Lance Armstrong.
It's funny. It's funny that KH and Ari are the ones shitting on him, and they didn't even watch the fight.
I watched it.
Fighting Devin Rodriguez, man. I'm not watching that.
You see one.
So how can you criticize if you didn't even watch it?
They're doing a chew, man.
It's funny because he's getting to you.
They're doing a chew.
You didn't even watch it.
No, see on YouTube, the fucking highlights package is usually for every fight it's about 1 minute. I'm surprised they got that for this fight. Honestly.
But I will say though, if he threw 700 punches, that says a lot because a lot of times, like the Floyd Mayweather pot shotting effect, everybody's throwing fucking 400 punches a fight, and it's just ridiculous. It's basically borderline unwatchable.
In a way, you lot are right. He should have got rid of Delvin. I agree with that. He should have got rid of him because if you saw the first round, in the first minute of the first round, I think he landed 7 straight left hands right on the button as well.
Lara doesn't vary his punches. Lara only has the straight 1-2.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not offensively creative enough. Even
that left hand got power in it, but he only throws it one way over and over again.
Yeah, he was even bringing the right hook into play at times as well, but he's just not offensively creative enough. He doesn't throw body punches. I think if he went to Delvin's body, he probably would have got him out of there.
I think he's offensive. He just is not, he doesn't take risk, going for the kill. I think we kind of misconstrued in that. He's an offensive fighter, but he doesn't, take risk, when he's seeing you wobbling.
And the round 6 knockdown came at the end of the round as well. I think if there was, say, a minute and a half left, I think he would have went for the kill, but I think there was only like 20 seconds left and Delvin was biting.
I don't know. I think Stevie J versus Jocelyn might be more exciting.
All right, guys. Let's allow it now. But Hamada, no, I had to do that, Hamada, because you said Pernell Whitaker. I can't have that shit.
But Pernell Whitaker fights in the pocket.
He was fighting in the pocket. He was fighting in the pocket.
In the car park.
He's fighting in the pocket against a man that no one is worried about.
At least you're not denying it, Leon.
All right, guys.
Fighting in the pocket.
Guys, let me jump in. I think we've.
No, Hamada, he did. I thought he was much more aggressive than he usually is, but he just disappoints me because he could do so much more with the talent he's got.
One question I've got for you guys, were you guys impressed by how Ronnie Shields has got him, to be throwing 700 punches?
But again, against someone that...
Yes, I am impressed by that.
No, Leon, come on, you gotta give him that though, man. I mean, for that weight division also, there's not a lot of people throwing them kind of...
Yeah, but that's because he's throwing that many punches, the guy was not throwing any punches back.
No, but it's like, even if you shadow box by yourself, and there's no one in front of you, you would get Garcia.
Look, man, we are
but Bruce, what Leon is saying, if it was Canelo chasing him, throwing hard body shots, he wouldn't throw 700 punches. He would go back to throwing 400. The reason why he threw 700 is because he had a guy with no power and no aggression probably sitting right in front of him.
That's what I saw.
So basically, you saw a training session of Lara. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit, corner to corner was on.
He won all 12 rounds.
But were you impressed with the training session?
It was a good training session.
Okay. At least you give him that.
Just to
I want him to do more, Roos. I want him to do more. That's my frustration with him.
I feel exactly the same. D-Sun Blue in the chat just says, it looks as if Hamada is the only guy who actually watched this fight. Disappointing. No, man, I watched the fight, but I can't tell you what happened. I watched the whole fucking thing, but I can't tell you what happened. You know why? Because I just switched off.
Were you drunk too?
I was sober.
Okay.
Sober as fuck. But I can't actually remember what happened in the fight.
Nothing memorable. And that's the thing. It's like, listen, I shit on these Heyman cards because Martinez Guerrero, like Thurman Collazo, fucking Lara, fucking whatever the fuck his name is, Rodriguez. I think they're all shit fights. If they were all on one card, I'll dedicate one night to watching 3 fights. Maybe one of them, like the Martinez-Guerrero, turns out to be more fun than it should be. But when all 3 of them are headlining 3 different events, I'm not watching any of them. I don't care. None of it you learn nothing from any of it. Like, what'd you learn from Lara that you didn't already know versus Delvin Rodriguez? You know what I mean? And then I guess you learned that Guerrero was more of a bum than most people thought, but I already knew he wasn't that good. I knew he was, a B or a C level fighter at 147. And that's the problem with these Heyman cards. He's got all the talent in those weight classes, and he's just not giving you fights. And it's just, did you think, Collazo versus fucking Thurman? Like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's
one,
a shame. It's bad that we're not watching. Like especially me, I'm not watching, but he's not giving us reason to watch. And if you judge by the ratings, a lot of other people aren't watching either. So,
all right, guys, let me jump in.
He's finally giving us one, Broner Porter. But go on, Cam.
Yeah, I think we need to switch the subject up a bit because time's going and we still got a lot to talk about. The other fight on that card, Ari, that you stayed up for, Beterbiev versus Alexander Johnson. What did you think of the fight, Ari? And do you think Beterbiev carried Johnson a bit?
Yeah, I think he carried him. He should have took him out inside 3. I don't know. It's a bit weird. I didn't really like some of the things Beterbiev was doing. He started going into that mode of, I'm in here with, I know this guy can't do nothing, so fuck my defense kind of thing. If you know what I mean? Like, he started messing around a bit.
He threw his skills out the window.
And his feet looked a bit, I don't know, man. I'm not going to lie. I think Stevenson might be able to outbox him, maybe. But this obviously, Beterbiev has got that. He's got that power, and obviously we know Stevenson's got a bit of glass. So I hope that fight happens, man. He signed a long-term deal with Heyman, so that has to be the fight. What other champs is there out there? He has to fight for a belt eventually. He wants to be a champ. So it has to be Stevenson inside 2-3 fights, man. But yeah, I did a couple of things I didn't like. I thought he was going to finish him off. That shout out to that guy. I can't remember his name, the dreadhead, but
Johnson.
He had heart. You can't say he didn't have heart. He kept fighting. He knew that. You could see the look on his face. He was feeling punches he's never felt before, but he's stuck in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he should have done better, in my opinion. He started messing around. Maybe he was just looking for rounds. He was trying out stuff.
Yeah, Alexander Johnson was the opponent. Chu, I think you saw this fight, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, bro. Yo, better beast. Better Yeti, as I call him. He looks like a Yeti. I've got a lot of respect for him because there's been debate whether he carried this guy. I think he carried the guy. I thought the guy was probably a little bit better than what I was expecting, but see when he turns it up, he gets him out of there. Like he's like the opposite of Lara. It's like when it's time to get him out of there, he gets him out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what boxing needs. Do I think he's flawed? Yes. I think Kovalev beats him. I think Stevenson is a 50-50 fight. I'm kind of questioning his defence a bit. I think if you push him back, I wonder if he's the same fighter. It's just that very few fighters have got the physical strength to push him back. I would like to see how he reacts to a punch. Like he's only had 9 fights. We still don't know how good his chin is. Like that's the big question I would ask. This guy wasn't a big enough puncher to hurt him. And I've heard it say that he would have problems with movers. I disagree, actually. I don't really see where people are getting that from. I think he's very accurate. He's a sharpshooter. And he's got fucking great power. But I don't know. I think Kovalev beats him. I think Stevenson would probably beat him as well. I think he's not as good as what everybody originally thought he was, but I still think he's probably the third best light heavyweight in that division.
Kev, did you see this on Friday night?
Yes. I didn't see it on Friday night. I did watch it on Saturday. And I like Beterbiev. I'll always watch him. I like him. He's a strong power puncher. Same thing I heard about from everybody. Same thing is that he cuts a lot of weight. He's big as hell. So maybe one day that's going to bite him in the ass. If he has to go rounds and hard rounds, then we'll see if he's really cutting weight well or he's too big. You know what I mean? But 175 to cruiser is huge. Who knows? So he's strong as shit, man. And he got the great eraser. He's a little sloppy, but he's a ton of amateur experience, but he still doesn't have that many pro rounds in him. When you get a lot of first, second, and third round knockouts, which is why people do carry people, is to get rounds that they need. Like when you hear, Triple G's fucking trainer saying, take it easy, slow down, relax. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go rounds to get that experience, to know what it's like, because you do it in the gym all you want. So you do it under the lights with a live guy in front of you. It's different.
Yeah.
But I think he wanted to get some rounds in, but he's the type of guy, he does go for the kill whenever he wants. I don't think he had the on switch on the whole time.
Yeah. Roos, I know you were watching this on Friday night. Roos? I'll move on. Leon, did you catch this?
Yeah, I watched this. He doesn't use his jab enough. That's the one thing I noticed. And I think he's just kind of plateaued a bit, since that Cloud fight. I just think these people he's fighting they're not pushing him. So it's just, like Ari said, he just kind of throws his skills out the window a bit and just goes in there and, he's just in first gear, I think.
He kind of reminds me like a hammer. He'll bludgeon his fucking opponent to death rather than scalpel like sharp, you know what I mean? He reminds me of like a caveman almost, It's effective. But I think when he steps up a level to a guy that can, step back and counter him and hurt him, then I think it's going to be a different story.
But have you seen him, I've watched some of his old amateur fights and he can box. So I just think it's just the opposition that's not bringing the things out of him that he needs to show.
Yeah, but Leon, you know that saying, you fight bums and you become a bum?
Exactly, so that's the problem. They need to, it needs a Fonfara or someone, just a little test to move him up a bit.
Yo, the Fonfara fight would be an excellent fight, I think.
Great fight.
Yeah.
I just think he's treading water a bit at the moment.
Yeah. All right, Hamada, did you catch this?
Yeah, I watched it still. I was surprised, man. The guy actually done well, man. He went a few more rounds than I expected. And he looks funny, man. He looks like Furman's dad.
Yeah, man. Black Ski Mask Joe sent me some pictures, man, of like side to side of Keith Thurman and Alexander Johnson. They did look like his dad, to be honest.
He looks just like Furman. He looks like an old version of Furman. But yeah, he done well, but yeah, man. Beterbiev's got power in that, but he did look a bit sloppy. But I have to give him the benefit that it was a late replacement, and he only had, I think he said only 3 days of southpaw sparring, so he was getting ready for he was fighting Dudu, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot it was a late replacement.
Yeah, it was a late replacement at the southpaw.
I forgot that.
I'll
pull back a bit on what I said then. I'll pull back a bit on what I said then.
No, but he did fight Campillo, so he had southpaw training for him, so,
Yeah, but obviously he was training the whole camp for Orthodox, didn't it? And then, last minute he was throwing his southpaw, and I think he came back a bit too quickly. I think his last fight was just 2 months ago, and he came back quite quickly. I think they're trying to keep him active because they know he's a big guy, and he was fighting at cruiserweight in the amateurs, I think.
Yeah, and beforehand he was doing like catch weights of like 185.
Yeah,
like
so I think they're keeping him active to keep him near the weight.
Yeah. What happened with Dudu? Did he just shit himself like?
No pun intended.
You know what I mean? No, you're going in there with a beast like that. This, the guy, like, look at his record, man. These guys now, I like this though. These guys from the Olympians, they're at a high level. Again, I have to respect Lomachenko for that as well. These guys, they're coming in, they're just jumping straight in the game. They're like, yeah, I'm ready. We don't need to do that feed me bums for 20 fights kind of thing, So respect to that. And that's again, I don't want to go into another segment, but Campbell's kind of getting moved a bit quick as well. I kind of like it. It's quite early for Coyle. But I'll talk about that later.
When you have 300-400 amateur fights and you're at the top level of the thing, like, you should be moving faster. Like, like a guy, like I said, like my boy Shawnee, like he had to fight those first 10 fights. He had 12 amateur fights. Like, you know what I mean? At the age of 25. Like, when you're fighting from the age of 8 to fucking 20 and you're fighting in multiple Olympics or World Games, like, what's the point of having all those 10 4-rounders against bums that you're cleaning out, you know? So, like, that cuts your time in half. This way, by your time you're at your 15th fight, you're at the top level. And, like, Beterbiev, when he fought Cloud, Cloud fell off the planet. Like, he's not that good, of a name anymore. But at the time, it was like, wow, he's fighting Cloud already? And look what he did. You know what I mean? And I like that. I think boxing needs to do that more, especially with these guys at this level. Like, but top rank of people who move slow, and Heyman, I don't know, like with Errol Spence, it seems to be moving slow too. So,
all right, let's have a break. My boy is on the line. He's been patiently waiting.
Long live the king of all kings, and we say, long live the king!
Yo, what up? What's Gucci, fellas?
What's happening, King J?
What's up with my boy Ahmad, man? Defending all these bombs, man. What's up with him?
Hey, Jay, your connection's a bit weird. Are you on speaker or something? I don't know.
Am I better now?
A bit better, I think.
Yeah, man. What's up with Ahmad defending all these bumps? I did not see no 700 and something punches. I seen 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All fucking night. 2 punches. If you're okay on a pay-per-view to see a guy throw 700 1-2s, fuck, my respect to you, man, because I'm not trying to watch that shit.
Yo, Jay, give us a Lara impression, man.
Nah, I can't do it now.
Yo, but Jay, what did you think of the Wilder versus Molina fight?
I don't understand how people are saying he looked fucking good. I mean, see, this is the difference. Like, people criticize Triple G, right? Because he gets these guys that supposedly everybody thinks that they're garbage, and he's supposed to do that to them. Well, the people that get the same type of opponents don't treat them like Triple G treats the guys that are garbage. Like, there's no way Molina should have rocked Wilder. There's no way he should have been in there 7 rounds or 8 rounds, whatever the fuck it was. Like, this is a guy that has 32 KOs before this, and he lets a guy like Molina that got knocked out by Arreola in the first round. You let him go that many rounds with you, and you let him clip you twice, 2 good times. If Molina was someone like a Klitschko, a Jennings, another heavyweight with a little bit more experience, he would have got Wilder out of there, man. There is no way Wilder would have survived that round where he got clipped real good against another guy that was a hard hitter and that put a little more pressure. Dude, there was still like 1 minute and 40 seconds in the round. There's no way Wilder should have made it out of that round. No fucking way. So I'm not impressed with Wilder at all, man. They better keep him away from Klitschko, man, because Klitschko will knock his ass out. So that's what I think about that.
Totally agree about that, King J. Any other fights on the weekend interest you as well?
I mean, come on, dude. Molina went into it with the body of a fucking grocery butcher, man. Jesus. I watched all of them. I think that was a Lara fight. Jesus Christ, thank God I didn't spend $100 on that shit. Fuck. My uncle went to that shit, and all bullshit aside, he told me that by the 9th round, people were getting up and they were leaving. Like the Mexicans that went in there, a lot of them went because they thought Rodriguez was a fucking Mexican for some reason. And a lot of them were just leaving like this. It was fucking boring as fuck. That, and they were drunk. But they said it was horrible. And if you heard it on TV, there was a shitload of booing at one point in that fight, man. It's just that there's no reason. How do you call someone out like Cotto? You know, I don't care how good your boxing skills are. If your boxing skills are so superior towards your opponent, you should be able to not only dominate them, but get them out of there, man. You got to put in a little bit more effort. You can't be calling people out like Cotto, Triple G, and Floyd Mayweather when you're not putting on big shows, man. You can't do that. I mean, they're putting you up against this type of opposition so you can look good. You're looking good, but you're looking good as if you were in the Olympics. Like, you're not getting points here. You better fucking get some views, knock this guy out. Make a statement, okay, Cotto knocked him out in the third round or fourth round. I'm going to knock him out in the same round, but in better fashion or something. I mean, fuck, dude, it's crazy, man. I don't know, man. I already hit around the button, man. He's playing with his fucking career. That's disrespectful to all the viewers. So...
What did you think of Go on, sorry.
And the Beterbiev, man. He's a fucking monster. He's kind of scary looking, too, ain't it? Yeah, dude, that guy's a fucking beast, dude. He's an animal, man. He's Triple G of that killer in and outside there. He looks like a fucking vampire for some reason.
Mm.
Yeah, dude, that guy's a fucking animal, man. And I don't know, he looks... Just from watching him, I don't even know too much about him, but he looks like he still has a lot of room to grow, too, man. To learn a lot of shit, man. But, dude, that power is real, man. That power is real. I kind of felt bad for what's his name, man. What the fuck was his opponent's name?
Alexander Johnson.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Johnson, man, because it's like they weren't. It was obvious he was not going to win because it's not like he had that knockout power, where it can happen any minute. And I think it should have been stopped 2 rounds earlier than what they let it keep going, man. Because I think in the round before it was done, they asked him, and he wasn't even fucking replying. This corner's like, all right, fuck it, one more round.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. His corner was fucking terrible, man.
Did you see that, dude? How fucked up was that? So, like, they were like, oh, come on, man. You want to be in there or not? The guy's just there with his fucking mouth shut because the camera's right in his face. All right, one more round, champ. He just got up like, fuck.
Yeah.
If you have no chance of winning, I know it sounds fucked up, man, but they should just get you out of it because then after that, it's unnecessary punishment. You know what I mean?
Mm. Like, the corner was asking him, do you want to continue or are you going to quit? And if the guy isn't answering, then, okay, that's your answer.
Take him out of there. I mean, dude, this is your boxer, Save him the embarrassment, and when he's fighting, just throw in the towel, Don't make him look bad like, the corner stopped it. No, they put him on the spot with the camera in his face, man.
Yeah. That is exactly it, bro. That was fucking trying to embarrass the guy.
Yeah. Dude, it's Lucky Johnson turning like, what you mean? Do I want to quit? Look at my fucking lips. Fuck do you think? Yeah, man. And Redkach, I thought that was a pretty good fight, man. I thought he was going to get him out of there sooner. And he did it, man. Najera, he surprised me, man. He's pretty good, man. He's pretty good. I just think that the height and the reach didn't help him out one fucking bit. Mm. Redkach would not let him get inside around the times that he did get inside, he got some pretty good shots on him. But obviously Redkach was just more superior than he is. But I want to see Redkach against some real good opposition. Someone just elite as he is, to see how he would react to some hard punches. Mm. But, yeah, that's about it. But, is Cage still on the line?
Yep.
I agree with them, man. This PBC shit it's garbage, man. It's trash. Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this one post where it was probably Malignaggi's face, and he only had the red hair, and I think it was in the Haddon fight when he fucking hit him and he opened his eyes big as fuck, and it said when you realize you just became a cherry, because then you're gonna see him fake his ass. He's like a surprise. Well, yeah, man. That's all, man. Great show. No, I'm going to keep listening again, man.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
All right, fellas.
Peace. Let's just finish off with the weekend's fight, going to a bit of a black hole. I know I watched it. Probably Leon watched it. Ari, I don't know if you watched the Channel 5 fight on Saturday night, did you?
I watched it.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Actually, I was talking
From
to you at the
Haskins.
time. Yeah, Haskins. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about the beast that is Bob Agisaf.
You know what's funny? I'll tell you a story about that. I was watching it because obviously he was on Spike. I was watching it downstairs. My mum was doing something. I can't remember. My mum was just sitting there trying to turn the channel. Obviously, I wasn't there. And then, when Bob started beating him up, the guy lands when Bob started beating him up, my mum starts saying, "Oh, why are they stopping the fight and shit?" She don't know what she's talking about, but she was saying, "Oh, that guy shouldn't be a bots and all this kind of stuff." You know how these. She's not even a casual, but it's just like talking some mad shit, and I was just thinking, but it's true. The guy was just getting beat up, man.
Yeah,
he was one of the worst oppositions I've ever seen.
He was tiny. He was tiny as well. You're saying like he had a fight already booked at super middleweight in a couple of weeks, and it's like, why the fuck are you fighting a light middleweight then? I mean, a light heavyweight.
That's bad, man. Bob just, I don't know.
But that undercard was terrible though. Like again, shout to Skype to have like the 2-channel lineup, so they're showing like the majority of the undercard on the smaller channel, and then they went over to channel 5 to show the Haskins fight and then highlights. But I know Roos is on the line and Darren Hamilton is your boy, man. But what was the point of that fight, Roos?
Oh, have you seen that guy fight before?
His opponent?
Yeah. I think Mitchell knocked him out, didn't he, a couple of fights ago? He doesn't know. He's difficult to fight. He just don't know what he's doing.
That guy's
just crazy, man.
That guy was terrible, man.
He was awful.
And then you got we got Tyson's brother, Young Fury. He was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah. He was as bad as his skin was.
Oh man, he needs to get tested for PEDs, man, or chocolate.
That shit was just...
Forget back acne, he had whole body acne, man.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if... I was going to say something. I don't want to say it.
Nah, I think they just eat really bad, I think they eat just a lot of sugary foods, man. Yeah. That's it. That's all it is, But on to the main event, man. My boy Lee Haskins. Good fight, man. I had Haskins 3 rounds up, man. He was fucking countering nice. His movement was excellent. But... how do you pronounce the name? Was it Isawa?
Yeah, something like that.
He was coming back. I gave him the 4th and the 5th, man. I thought Haskins started missing a lot. He was loading up and just exuding a lot of energy, just missing wildly. And
he jumps in with it as well, doesn't he, Cam? He jumps into those wild hooks.
Exactly.
He's a knockout waiting to happen, unfortunately, I think.
That's style, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hands low as well.
Yeah.
But man,
it was a decent fight.
That stoppage.
I like that.
That stoppage,
very good stoppage.
That beautiful shot, man. I think they both went to throw again. It was a bit of a southpaw weekend, and both southpaws, and I think they both went to throw the left hand, but Haskins landed first, man, and it's just beautiful shot. Surprised he got up, because he looked pretty hurt. The ref gave him the chance, but as soon as Haskins jumped on him, it was over. I thought the stoppage was okay, to be honest.
Yeah, did you see? It's a good thing they did stop. But you see what happened to his ear?
Yeah, it started to bleed.
The bottom of his earlobe burst or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's good. I'm glad he won though. He's been ducked and mucked around over there for a long time.
And he's beat. We see guys like McDonnell and Hall, and he's beaten them. He's beat both of them. So, it's just that Haskins every time he's stepped up before, he's been knocked out. So, he's a bit fragile, but, it's good for him, man. Obviously, we expect Caballero, if he fights him, Caballero must beat him. But at least he's had some success, So it's good for him. And it was on national TV as well, so he got good views on it. So, yeah, shout out to Haskins, Yeah. He's always got a fun style. He's fun to watch. Yeah, I picked him as well. Because, it's funny. I think last week I actually said he was going to lose, but then I didn't know who he was fighting. I went to check. And I looked at the guy's record again, and it's kind of like there's a cannon fight. I was thinking, this guy ain't fought no one. And then I see Haskins, and Haskins is decent, so I went with Haskins.
Yeah, I went for UD. I didn't think he was going to stop him,
No, I didn't expect him to knock him out, no.
I didn't rep my flag.
Oh, Leon, man. What's going on, Leon?
I know, man. I was rushing my picks last week. I rushed them. It was a mess.
Were you doing that thing last minute, just quickly checking box rec?
I don't think I was even checking box rec. I just did it in like 10 minutes on Friday. It was madness.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I picked the Jap, you know. I picked him to...
No, you let me down, Hamada, man. You're not repping your flag, you know.
I can't trust this guy. This guy, every time he stepped up, he got knocked out. He got knocked out by Jamoy and Jamoy shit.
Yeah, but the thing is now, Hennessy's got no one left, man, so he's his last star.
And this guy, I looked at his record. He looked quite good. He only lost to Yamanaka, and Yamanaka's probably the best in the division. So I thought this Jeff was better than, you know. But I didn't even watch the fight, you know. I'm not even going to sit there and
You're talking like you watched it.
I know, I didn't even watch it, but I saw clips on Twitter, you know, the knockout. It was nice left hand. I'm not even I didn't watch it. I was watching the Argentina match, man.
Fuck that shit. Wow, you care about them qualifiers, all that bullshit?
It's Copa America's tournament, mate.
Oh, swear. You know, it's funny. I think I said the same thing to you the other day, and you said the same answer. I don't give a shit. But no, I'm not missing out on Haskins. Haskins fun. He's fun. He's fun to watch. Man.
I'd rather watch Messi than Haskins.
When you put it like that, all right.
All right, let's have a little break. Talk about the Predictions League. Give some props to people. Hamada, not a great week for you, but you still got a decent lead up in first. Inverness Mark still second. Barcelona has jumped up 2 places into third. Nothing for Something's dropped 1 into fourth. Choppy Hover's dropped 1 into fifth. Munn has jumped up 2 places into sixth. LeMarcus Malvo, probably the player of the week, man. He jumped up 10 places into seventh with 202 points this week. Armin 8th, up 1 place. Sweep the Leg down 2 places in 9th. And Kernan 1, 2, 3 down 4 places in 10th. Got quite a few predictions this week again. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got the Blandemoro Michael Sorrow fight. I think it's European title in Italy on Saturday.
Wait 1 sec, Cam. Sorry, that's the guy who got knocked out by Saunders, right?
Yeah, it's the guy that got knocked out by Saunders versus the guy that just
you're
stopped
wrong.
Tapio.
You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that because I'm on the website and the picture you put is him on the ropes after he got knocked out.
Yo, it was the easiest picture to find, you know.
That looks wrong.
But yeah, Michael Sorrow is the guy that beat Tapio recently.
Yeah.
Derek Jean versus... Yeah, it's a good fight. That's why I put it up. It's a decent fight. Derek Jean versus Jerry Belmontes. Andre Ward versus the legend that is Paul Smith, who blocked Hamada on Twitter recently, even though Hamada doesn't even follow him.
Well, Smith blocks everyone, I heard. Anyone that says any little thing.
Imagine, Ari, I don't even follow him, and I've never even tweeted him, right? I've never added him before. And somehow, I'm blocked. I don't even know. It's like he searched...
Shit.
No, imagine, like, I don't know. I've never really talked about Paul Smith on Twitter. I did put up 1 picture about Paul Smith, but...
That's probably what it is.
It didn't even get retweets.
No, I think he searches his name on Twitter, you know, and then see what people puts about him.
Yeah, that's what he does, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's an insecure cunt.
Alright, David Lemieux versus Hassan N'dam, Adrien Broner versus Shawn Porter. This one's interesting because it's a star fight. So just for predicting the right fighter, the right winner, you'll be getting an extra 50 points. So you can either win big or lose big this week in the prediction league. It's going to be an interesting weekend because, to me, that's a 50-50 fight. Obviously, we'll go into it later about the weight and the rehydration, but very close 50-50 fight for me. Errol Spence Jr. versus Roberto Garcia, Sammy Vasquez versus Wale Amatoso, Jalen Love versus Jason Escalera, and Francis Bartholomew versus Antonio DeMarco. Those 3 last fights are the ones I talked about last week, where they will be aired on Sunday. So I think Eastern time on Sunday it's 4 p.m, 9 p.m. in the UK. I'm not sure.
Jalen Love doesn't deserve to be in our prediction league.
I wasn't going to put him in, you know, but then I thought...
He shouldn't have done, man. He's a bum.
Nah, it's alright. We'll give him a pass. But
yeah. Don't go off on my TMT fires.
He's a cunt.
Alright, and just give a quick shout to the people in the chat. We got Je suis da puta bestia. Sorry if that's a swearing in a different language. Basileus, Son of God returns to Earth Saturday on BET. AC UK, Monaco 78, James Meyer, shout out to James. Ado for Real, Nothing for Something, KH Long Beach 516, Davy Boy Essex, Super Merc, American 7, Steel Love, NR Hope 1, Panama Sid, Kid Galabum, Michael McDonough, Nunez 83, PM versus Antonio Jose Sanchez, Beast Mode, BRD Hay, Foot, James Bennett, Court Music, Lucan, Shams 1000, Carwile, RFD Boxing, Tickle 1, Hoslayer Dwyer, and 16 guests. Okay, let's have a little break and talk about Danny Garcia. I know King J touched on it earlier with his phone call. I first heard about this fight, I think it was late Monday or late Tuesday night. Pretty shocked, that Danny's decided to fight Paulie Malignaggi, man. Open up to you guys. What do you guys think, Chew?
Sorry, what was the question?
What do you think about Danny Garcia versus Paulie Malignaggi? August 1st, I think, Brooklyn.
Well, I think that's a cherry-picking fight that could go wrong. I think Paulie Malignaggi's got the potential to box him, but to be honest, I'm not really interested in that fight. Because I don't think Garcia has the power to knock him out, or the style. But I don't think Malignaggi has the power to really trouble Garcia or the style. So it's just really like a feed me for Danny Garcia, just to kind of test the weight. And that's the thing with him, and he keeps doing these kind of cherry picking gone wrong fights, and they turn out to be good fights, and I'm not complaining. But I don't think they're intended to be quite as competitive as what they're turning out to be. And I think this is just another example of how that will end up.
You think this will end up being like Malignaggi versus Broner, which was supposed to be a showcase show out for Broner, and it ends up being a pretty tight fight?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
If it's a tight fight, Garcia's stock's got to plummet. I mean, from the Herrera fight on, I mean, let's be honest. Last time we all saw Paulie, boxing, he was searching for his fucking brains after Porter, spread them shits on the mat.
Mm. But like Garcia's going up in weight, and
but he's going up in weight against probably one of the physically weakest and
he's still
least
going to be
amount
bigger.
of punching power.
Yeah.
Welterweight, like he might as well be fighting a light welterweight,
He'll be going up, and like Garcia will still be the bigger fighter, but Porter's a lot bigger.
That's why I said I don't get it. People are like, well, why are you killing him? This is his first fight at welterweight. Well, he's been fighting at catchweights, and he's going to be a bigger guy. So what's the point? Like, if you're going to go up in weight, you want to get used to fighting bigger guys, and even if you fought a guy outside the top 10. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, and you're getting acclimated to the weight, I would understand it. Instead, he's fighting a guy who can't hurt him and who can't muscle him around the ring, and he's not going to fight like a welterweight that's going to bring pressure. So it's like, what does this fight do? Like, absolutely nothing.
Well, can I just say, like, this is a really strange fight if I'm Paulie Malignaggi, because he's talking all this kind of shit about Manny Pacquiao, so much so that he's got a kind of buzz around it. Like, you could almost get the Manny Pacquiao fight. Like, if I was Manny Pacquiao and I wanted a quick tune-up before I fought Floyd Mayweather again, I'd probably think, right, Paulie Malignaggi, that'd be a pretty good fight. He's not going to knock me out, is he? And it's a kind of similar style to Floyd. It's not exactly the same. So he's risking a lot fighting Danny Garcia. I just think that maybe Paulie Malignaggi's seen something in Danny Garcia that he could exploit. Because I think
he sees $1 million payday.
Yeah, he's getting a big payday.
He's going to get paid like he did probably versus Broner, like a $1.1 million payday.
And he's happy for that cut now. Even though he's set up to lose. But the funny thing is, it's a bad fight. You know, it's kind of pointless. But I said it when it first got announced, and I thought about it. I could see Paulie winning. I could see Paulie outboxing him because you know Garcia has problems with boxers.
I don't think so. I think the blueprint for Paulie Malignaggi's been like in existence for quite a while. Just walk him down.
Yeah, I hear you. But Paulie's got a decent chin. I don't know. You know, I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to do that. Actually, fuck that. Because you know, this ain't a good fight for Garcia. But I'm just saying, style-wise, Paulie, if he's still got something in him and he can keep on outside, you never know. And yeah, like Kev said, this could be a very bad fight for Paulie. Not for Paulie, for Garcia, and you know, he might not be able to come back from this if he struggles. Because you're at 147 now. You've been trying to avoid it, but you're here now. You know, there's only so long. There's killers. So you got Paulie now, but who you gonna have next? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Beast Mode in the chat makes a good point. Like, it's all about the money for Paulie now. Heyman literally bought the guy. He was anti-Heyman before that. I mean, I can't disagree. I listened to his podcast. I actually quite like it, but I mean, it's pretty much like a propaganda piece for PBC.
Yeah, it is. You have to be. The way they were talking to Wilder the other week, and I don't like how, I don't think I said on the show, I said it to some of you lot on WhatsApp, I think, but I just don't like how they were shitting on Fury when they were acting like Fury was ducking Wilder, but I'm sure Fury's supposed to be fighting the best heavyweight out there, so, but the way they were talking, you would think that Wilder's this beast that Fury's scared of, if you know what I mean, but, you know, back to the Danny versus Paulie, that's just, I don't know, man, it's just a pointless fight.
Hamada, what do you think?
I just think it's a terrible fight, man. I just think Garcia is just losing credibility, man. It's like, why not give Peterson a rematch? I don't get it. Why would you go fight someone else? Peterson won the fight, in my opinion, but to the world gave you a real close fight. Like, why don't you settle the score? Why don't you sort it out? It's just, this Garcia, this whole Danny Garcia and Team Garcia, whatever you want to call it, they're just not into giving rematches. They didn't give Herrera a rematch. They didn't give Peterson a rematch. Now they're fighting Paulie. People are saying Paulie might be able to win. Paulie at most will make him look bad. Paulie's not going to get a decision. Let's be honest. He's not going to get a decision because the judges are going to come with their scorecards like they did in the Herrera fight and like they did in the Peterson fight, and they're going to have Daniel Garcia winning. So Paulie's got no chance. He's taking it for the money. And it's just a joke fight, man. Really and truly, they should have fought each other probably 2 years ago, and it would have been a much better fight. But now it's just well overdue. Paulie ain't fought in almost a year and a half. Who knows if Paulie's still the same? He might be shot. And the funny thing is, when Broner jumped up 2 weight classes to fight him, people are saying, it's a cherry pick, You know what I'm trying to say? And that's when Paulie was probably at his best in his whole career. He was world champion. He had some wins. You know what I'm trying to say? And now Garcia's fighting him, and all of a sudden, like, people's giving it a pass because Garcia's moving up in weight. But then they were shitting on Broner, who jumped up 2 weights to fight him when he was world champion.
Yeah. You know what I don't like about Paulie, and I agree with you, Hamada, it's a shit fight, but he's saying that Manny Pacquiao is faking an injury. No, mate, you're faking an injury. All of a sudden, your cut's healed. You've got to fight 6.
Do you think he done a hay?
Of course he did.
True. True.
The bigger fight on the horizon.
True. That fight's August 1st. You know, like Shawnee got a cut 5 weeks ago, and he fought like on Saturday. So
what I'm trying to say is, like, if
I just think it's funny how, like, Paulie, like, acted like the he's like, well, Pacquiao didn't have no surgery, meanwhile he did, and then he goes, but I had stitches. All right, so what if we said you didn't get stitches? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just such a fucking meatball, man. He's like, I don't know, he's like that dude from the Jersey Shore TV show, bro. He's just so fucking retarded.
No, but Cam, like, the difference is that Sean Monaghan probably did have a legitimate cut, but I've not seen it. But I'm guessing he did. Paulie tweeted a picture of the cut. I couldn't see a cut.
I think he tweeted a picture of the scar, actually.
Yeah, the scar. Like, I can't see it either. He was on, like, the next week after getting the cut, he was doing IFL TV interviews and shit. I couldn't see anything.
Nah, I seen him on the Sky coverage for the pay-per-view. And
I couldn't see anything there either.
Nah, I did see it quite red, and I did see a small little scar. But you probably watching like a shitty stream. I was watching HD, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
not to shit on your stream, but...
I just think... I actually think as a commentator...
You need an air? You need pump? Right.
Yo, Kev, man, just mute yourself, Kev.
Hold on 1 second.
I do need air, mate.
My bad, I gotta put some air in this kid's soccer ball. I'll be right back.
Kids helping the local community out, pumping up the balls and that.
To quickly get to my point, Paul Malignaggi, he's a hypocrite. He used to go to Freddie Roach's gym, and now he's fucking talking shit about Freddie Roach. And he's talking shit about Manny Pacquiao, but he pulls up injuries that are non-existent all the time. He's a hypocrite.
And the funny thing about Paulie is he goes on these rants about Manny Pacquiao and how he's on stuff and how he went through all these weight classes, but then you'd never ever hear him say them kind of things about Marcus, who's done exactly the same thing.
Good point. Yeah, fucking great point.
But that's because he's with the same guy that made Marcus what he is today.
Exactly.
Paulie's a sellout. He joined this Heredia team because it's just a blatant sign of if you can't beat them, you join them. And that's why he joined them. Simple as. He's a sellout.
All right. Leon, you got any thoughts on this fight?
I don't care about Danny Garcia's career at all. So no, I don't.
Okay, fair enough. But I've got a question for you. Enfield's finest, Frank Buglioni, getting a title shot.
Now we're talking. World Championship boxing.
What's your thoughts, man?
He's going to get knocked out, isn't he, in front of all his fans?
In front of us as well, innit?
In front
Leon?
of us, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Leon. He's got us free tickets, man.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you coming?
When's the date?
24th of July on Friday, I think.
Friday, yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna be in the country then, but
oh, Australia, you going on holiday?
Yeah, I'll tell you that off air.
Yeah. All right.
Frank's done well there to get that.
Which Frank? Frank Buglioni or Frank Warren?
Warren.
Warren.
Warren. Buglioni's done nothing for it. The guy drawn his last fight, man.
Against an aerial level fighter.
A guy I've never heard of.
The truth is, Chudinov's team just won like an easy tune-up, innit?
Yeah, Warren.
I'm surprised they even coming to England. Why are they coming here?
Because they don't sell tickets in Russia.
Okay.
Just like how he's the brother of the guy that Eubank just beat.
Okay. Oh, they're not with the billionaire, are they?
No, they're not.
No.
Seems like they're not.
Okay.
They're feeding on scraps, so what they've got Warren here, who must be giving them a decent payday. Buglioni's going to have thousands of fans there, obviously.
And Saunders is fighting, and that's not far from. That's like out his way, isn't it? So they're all come down.
Yeah. So, it's a pointless fight. It's a joke, really. When I first heard about it, I couldn't believe it. This is for Froch's belt as well, when you really think about it.
It's not a world title fight, man. Let's be real. The WBA regular is not a world championship, man. Let's be honest.
Oh my God, I actually can't believe. Imagine if he wins. You know what I mean? It's just...
But he can't win because he gets hit so easy, and that guy's got a reasonable dig on him.
I was joking.
You know what? It's going to be a good fight though, because both guys stand in front of each other. So
what's worse, you reckon? Smith getting the shot at Abraham or Buglioni getting the shot?
Buglioni, I think.
Buglioni. Let's keep it real. Buglioni. Buglioni.
Yeah, at least Smith lost to some good guys, isn't it? Buglioni drew with this Markham guy, man. I mean, fuck's sake.
And he went life and death with that Robinson guy. Again, we saw that live. That was Eubank.
Yeah, we're like the Buglioni crew.
Yo, this guy's so shit, I don't even know who he is. Who he's fought.
But, yo, man. I think Sergei Kamitsi should have got the shot at fucking Chudinov, man. He's a hero.
Yeah, he should have done. He deserved that shot.
Because, Stieglitz, the referee robbed him in that, or wherever, the doctor. whatever they did there. I can't remember. Some
it was someone from the WBO about they cut his the wraps that went round his gloves, and you're not allowed to cut it. No, actually they tried to take it off rather than cut it because it was loose, and they fucking disqualified him. That was some bullshit, man.
Yeah, but Comiskey might beat the guy, man. They don't want to make him lose. The boogeyman.
He is the boogeyman, though. He is the boogeyman. But yep, let's move on. Let's go into next week's fight, man. The big one, obviously. Shawn Porter, Adrien Broner. Who wants to go first? Don't rush.
I'll go then. No one wants to talk. I was gonna let someone else go. But to me, it's all about how does Porter make the weight. So I can't make a pick until I see him on weigh-in. I want to see if he's drawn, if he looks like he's cut too much. If he's done a gill, where gill, the guy looked like a zombie. So I need to see him on the scales. But from what I'm hearing, it sounds like they sound confident in making it. They sound more confident. They think more likely that they will have less problems than Broner, I guess. I don't know, but I guess most of us heard Ken on the Boxing Voice, last night. I don't like some of the stuff I'm hearing. No. The guy can't even admit they lost to Brook, and Ness is asking him simple questions, nice questions, and he's ducking it and he won't give him the real facts. He come on, man, you lost to Brook. If the guy's landing right hands on you and you're smothering your own work, you've lost. I don't care if he held a bit. He held a bit because you're coming in with your head. But, Ken, that's the only thing. Ken's now doubting me when I'm thinking this guy, again, maybe it's a thing, what they say about these fathers who are their trainers, where they don't see it because their son in there. They don't see him as a fighter. They see him as their offspring, their son. So I think that might be a problem. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to have worries. I'm starting to maybe think Broner might do it. But Broner, everyone knows Broner's looking like food these days. And Porter, when he's on, he's on. And I think Porter's very motivated. I don't think he likes Broner. The way Broner goes on out of the ring and shit. I don't think they like that shit because Porter's he's very professional.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want to pick Porter, and I still most probably will pick Porter. I just need to see how he looks on the scales because he could look mad with that 10 pound off overnight as well. Broner made sure he got everything his way, boy. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Broner will probably come overweight. Broner will probably fucking come overweight, man. That's like Kev was saying earlier. That it's a weird rehydration limit because Broner's not known for, keeping trim and keeping on weight. So I don't know though, because I heard the same Boxing Voice episode as you, and Ken was talking that they were in camp already to fight on the Mayweather undercard, so he was already in good shape. So that kind of took away some of the concerns I had about, Porter getting down to that weight and maybe having to cut a bit of muscle so he can make the rehydration limit. So I'm totally like you, Ari. I have to see the weigh-in, see how they look, see how quickly they grab a bottle of water to fucking guzzle down and make my pick from there, to be honest. Chew, what do you think?
Yeah, I listened to that interview in the Boxing Voice as well, and I've got to say, some of the things he was saying was just baffling. They're bringing in Sugar Shane Mosley for sparring. Like, that's fucking what they're going to do if they get a Floyd Mayweather fight. They're going to bring in Sugar Ray Leonard. Fucking, these guys are in retirement. And he doesn't fight anything like Broner anyway. So I've got Broner in this fight, actually. I think the weight difference will be too much for Porter, or the weight drain. And also stylistically, just as Ari said, Porter tends to smother his own work. And I do think Broner has got underrated power. Even Madonna said that Broner hurt him a couple of times. So when Porter goes up close to him, I think.
But let's be real, Maidana gets dropped and hurt in almost every fight by almost everybody.
Yeah, but he doesn't get stopped.
And Broner didn't drop him or stop him.
Well, Madonna said Broner punches harder than Floyd.
Well, Floyd doesn't punch very hard. I don't think Porter punches. I don't think Broner punches anything as close to Brook. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue.
I think Porter does something where he gets really close and then he like loops his shots, where he's just like winging away, and I think that is good for a guy who like shoulder rolls and like throws straight punches, and I think Broner will do that. And he'll throw short punches, and I think it's going to be a fucking close as fuck fight, but I think Broner will get the decision. Everything else has went Broner's way. The rehydration clause, the 2 pounds, it's even probably the venue, and it'll probably be the gloves and everything else. I think it's pretty clear who the A side is. I'd like to see how much money both fighters are getting. It wouldn't surprise me if Broner's getting more money. I wonder.
Yeah, did you see the press conference?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was weird because all of a sudden Ellerby shows up and they're promoting it like it's a TMT fight. It probably is. Maybe they're using Ellerby as the promoter because you know how Heyman has to quote unquote have a promoter since he acts like he's not. You know,
it is TMT.
Yeah. So and he was basically treating it like Broner's the TMT fighter and the A side. I was like, damn, these cards are stacked heavy against Porter, and I didn't like. I've heard interviews with Porter, Ken, and he doesn't know. Like I asked, like I'm thinking, like, does Broner need to do the rehydration? And like, it doesn't seem like Porter knows. It's like, how the fuck do you guys not know that yet? And supposedly on the conference call today, like I think Steve Kim or Raging Babe commented, like no one knows if it's 144 or 144 plus 1 or is it 155? Like how do you guys not know this shit yet? Like all these Heyman things is just a fucking mess.
That's a good point because
it seems like whatever Broner's going to want to come in at, they're going to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Broner makes 144 easy and rehydrates easy, then they'll make sure that Porter has to do it. But if he doesn't, then they'll just adjust it like the Molina fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've mentioned this a few weeks ago. Even with round changes, like, they've not really been advertising the rounds on their own website if it's a 10 or a 12. And Ring Magazine will have something different to ESP's boxing schedule, and they'll have something different to BoxRec. It's like they're leaving it a bit open so they can change it last minute. That's the impression I'm getting. It's just there's too much cloud in the fucking with PBC at the moment. Too many like you can miss weight, but it's okay. We'll renegotiate with you and it'll be okay. Well, that's not the way it should be, man. Everything should be out in the open.
Yeah, the problem is, and I'm going to explain something real quick, is the whole +1 thing. Is like, yeah, what you can get is, say, you know, the welterweight limit of 147. You could come in at 148, and it could still be sanctioned as a welterweight fight because it's not a title fight, so they'll have +1. But when you contractually have a fight for 147, just because it's a non-title fight, that doesn't mean you can come in at 148. And, like, that's kind of like what Goosen was complaining about when it was 140 and at 141. But then you could tell, like, you know, because his first interview afterwards, he goes, well, we signed a contract for 140. And then all of a sudden he spun his tune. It was like, well, in Nevada, if it's a non-title, you could go +1. But you can't do that unless it's in the contract. Like, you can't just come in a pound over. Like, it's crazy. And they allowed him to. And so it's like, who knows what they're going to do now, you know? And don't tell me that, well, he couldn't have made 140 when he rehydrated like 17 pounds overnight. It probably would have killed him, that last extra pound, which is why he didn't do it. So it's like you said, it's like they're leaving things open for to give themselves leeway, and that's just not right, man. Like, I don't know, it's just there's A side, B side, all that shit, but that's just putting people at a direct disadvantage and like playing by different rules, and I just don't think it's right.
I agree, Leon. What's your thoughts on this fight? How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, I was going with Porter when it was first announced, but the more I hear him and his dad speak, the less I trust them. I don't know what they're talking about half the time. And at least with Broner, you know he's a bit mad anyway. So, but yeah, I just don't trust Porter. But I also think Porter's open to straight shots, and you know that's one thing Broner does do well. He throws straight shots well. So yeah, I think Broner will beat him, like maybe a split decision, UD. But yeah, I just don't trust that dad. He just sounds like a stupid man trying to sound clever.
And he loves the sound of his voice, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like, but he's like, what are you talking about? You're making no sense. And he comes off like, well, what I do is, and if I couldn't have someone else like this, he's like, you're a moron.
And the thing is, we heard all this before Brooke, and like Ness said, what's the difference between this fight and Brooke? We heard how you said this about Brooke. You downplayed Brooke. You see what happened, and then Ness said, what's the difference? You couldn't answer the question. So that's what really told me, you know what?
That's delusional.
I'm not sure about Porter here.
But I guess I didn't hear the interview, but the difference is they didn't know Brooke. They've been in the ring with Broner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And if Broner seemed surprised that he took the fight, they thought that 144 was going to get them off the fight, and that was going to be their way of ducking without making it look like ducking.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That's kind of the feel I got from it. But at the end of the day, you just don't know how that weight's going to affect you till you get there. So I'm not even if I'm going to watch the fight based on or pick the fight until I see the weigh-in.
Watch it. You're watching this, Kev.
Nah, if I see the weigh-in and he looks like Canelo, worse than Canelo did versus Floyd, when your lips are chapped and you're dried out and then you can't even rehydrate properly, that's going to be an issue, bad. I just think Broner's chin is suspect, and it just didn't get exposed when he was fighting guys way smaller than him when he was in the smaller weights. But since he's been up in weight, he doesn't walk through people anymore, so he's not getting any knockouts because he's not planting his feet. He's worried about what's coming back. You know what I mean? Even versus Molina, he would shoe shine kind of. He wasn't putting anything behind them punches, and he was just getting out of there. And, when Maidana hit him clean, he went down. And I could totally see Porter jumping on him and clubbing him the way Maidana clubbed him. And I think there is some similarities between those two.
I don't think Broner's got a bad chin. I think if he had a bad chin, I think Maidana would have knocked him out. Maidana was hitting him with some clean punches, and Broner was still there. And I don't think Porter punches.
But when I say bad chin, I mean, he got dropped multiple times, and he lost multiple rounds by getting hit and throwing 8 punches in a round. I think if you're only throwing 8 punches and you're covering up, that, you're not going to get knocked out. Those first 4 rounds, he was throwing 9 punches a round because he just didn't want to get knocked out. Once he got hit, he went straight covered up. And he had that little run in rounds, he had 3-4 rounds in a row where he did really well. And he did really well. He started walking Maidana down because I think Maidana got a little tired. But then, boom, Maidana hit him clean again and dropped him. And
that was a weird fight.
Errol Spence actually came out and finally admitted that he did do to Broner what everybody knew that he did. Of course, I got called a liar by everybody. Oh, you act like you know things. I'm like, okay. I just happen to know somebody that was in the gym and said it went down basically the same way Roach said it. And now Errol Spence is finally admitting to it. He goes, it's sparring, it happens. So that's why maybe Errol Spence might be getting the push now. Maybe that's why he's trying to be a little more outgoing with the talking.
I think Errol Spence is different. I think Errol Spence is the real deal, you get me? So.
And maybe they're trying to set up a fight. They're both on the same card. So maybe if Spence wins and Broner wins, they set up that fight next. But if you're getting sparked like that in training with 16-ounce gloves and headgear, that's an issue.
I don't know, man. I think Spence is the real deal. I think Spence is a big guy as well. He's a big guy, man. Spence probably end up moving up to 54 and 60.
I think he's had fights at 54 already.
He has fights at 54, and he is the real deal. But it's you don't see world-class guys getting hurt in sparring, let alone put out cold, leaning on the ropes.
A lot of people get knocked out in sparring.
Get knocked down. He got knocked cold, on the ropes, hanging.
There's probably a lot of things that happen in the gym that we will never ever find out and know about.
Yeah, you'll never see it. You hear it all the time, though. People getting slept or people getting knocked down. It might be their second week in camp and they got no legs under them. But, to get knocked out cold, the way that, Chad Dawson did against Edison Miranda and shit like that, is very rare at the highest level. It's different. When you get lower-level guys on the way up, they put away sparring partners and they brutalize them. But at the top level, you don't see that happen. That's why the talk gets around so quick, because it's so rare. Oh shit, you hear what happened?
So who do you think is going to win this fight then, Kev?
I'm going with Porter as long as the weight doesn't kill him. but we have no way of knowing. And the problem is, like, the weight is bad, right? But I would still be picking Porter because if he made the weight, I feel like he'd be all right. But the rehydration, that's the bothersome thing. Like, if the rehydration was just, say, 160, like, all right, you just can't get above 160, then I wouldn't mind, you know, because then that's basically no limit on it. But when you make it 154 or 10 pounds and you're already cutting an extra 3 pounds, I think that's a lot. So you're basically saying he could only come in like 5-6 pounds heavier than what he normally weighs in at for a fight. And that's a lot.
He's gonna be drained no matter what. The weight's 100% gonna affect him. There's no doubt about that. He gets down to 47. You can tell that he doesn't do it with ease.
He gets dry and he gets flat.
Exactly, you can see it.
Yeah.
So
he has to take his underwear off basically for every weight.
I honestly think the weight is definitely gonna affect him. But it's all about his body and how his body holds up afterwards. Because you see a lot of guys, they do drain a lot of weight. You see people like Canelo and Omar Figueroa and a few of those guys, they drain 20 pounds and then they come fight night, they're almost 20 pounds heavier. But it's just about how because everyone's body is different. So,
and that's what I'm saying. We don't know because he's never been through this and had to do it.
We don't.
But I'm watching right now. Like, that's why I stopped talking for like 20 minutes. I was watching this PBC corner to corner shit. And he was on, he was doing that Bikram yoga, that hot yoga he had Hank Lundy and the other guy Martin over there. And Hank Lundy was fucking sweating like a hooker in church, man. He had a puddle underneath him. And Porter wasn't sweating that bad, but he looked lean as shit and he was flexible as hell. Like, I didn't realize he was athletic like that. Like, I thought he was muscle bound and stiff, but this dude was bending all the way down, like his head all the way to the floor, his legs all behind his shit. It was crazy. I didn't know he had that type of flexibility. So that leads me to believe, like, for a while he's, you know, not as muscle bound as we thought, and he's been losing it the right way over the course of, like, you know, the last year or so. So maybe that make a difference.
Well, when they lose, because I think they're gonna lose, I just don't want to hear that the weight was an issue, because even though it is, Kenny Porter's acting like it's not. You know what I'm trying to say? He's going, we're at 154 and you know what I'm trying to say? He's going on.
If you're going to sign the fight and the whole way through act like you're smarter than everybody and better than everybody and it's not going to be an issue because you're disciplined, then you can't use it as an excuse after.
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, like, if they came out and was talking like, it's going to be difficult to make the weight, but we're going to give it a go, we're going to try like Gil did, like, then I can accept them come with the excuse. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Because at the end of the day, Broner weren't going to fight them at 147, so they had to take it just to get the fight on. But if he used the excuse, we was weight drained, Shawn's body wasn't the same, etc., then he's finished in my opinion. He can't look himself in the mirror ever again properly. You know what I'm trying to say? Because all that shit he was talking was just bullshit.
Quick question: is it better to fight Broner at a catch weight and a rehydration clause, or fight Thurman at your own natural weight?
As a fan, I would rather have seen fucking Thurman and Porter at no catch weight and have better fights. Like, that's what I said when all the first fights were announced. I was like, man, why? Out of all the matchups they can make, like, they do this shit catch weight and Thurman Collazo. I'm like, they could have just done Algerian Broner at whatever weight, like, you know what I mean? Thurman versus Porter, and then Khan versus somebody else, like, you know, and had 3 good fights. Instead, we're getting 1 potentially good fight depending on the rehydration.
Khan against Robert Guerrero.
Yeah, something, you know.
All right, we got my boy on the line, Daniel Lim. Are you there, Dan?
What's up, guys?
We're good, Dan. Talking.
You guys talk about the Cotto fight yet?
The Cotto fight? That was last week.
Are you sure? I saw it on HBO like yesterday.
Stop trolling, man.
And is there a joke there that I'm not understanding? I don't know.
No, I thought it was yes. Wasn't I thought the PR Day parade was yesterday?
Verdejo.
Yeah, PR parade was yesterday. That's why Verdejo fought the day before.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but I saw the fight yesterday, man, and that Cotto did well. So I think it'll be a good fight between him and Canelo.
All right. Let's just talk, let's leave that subject. Let's talk about Broner and.
Wait, I didn't talk about that fight, so that's the matchup of the decade, right?
You're not allowed to talk about it.
All right. Fair enough.
What's your thoughts on Broner and Paul?
So with the rehydration clause is what, 10 pounds? 10 pounds above 145?
I think it's 155. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really agree with
154, I think.
Who knows, man? Nobody knows, man.
I think I didn't listen to any of Ken Porter's interviews, but I think you have a valid excuse regardless of what kind of bullshit he may be spewing. Because I mean, semantics is just semantics, and not only is he going to have to weight drain, he's going to have to drain or cap the amount of weight that he can rehydrate to the next day. So it's pretty much a double whammy, you know. Like,
yeah, it's not an excuse; it's a reason at that point, right?
I mean, like, what difference does it make, though, what Ken Porter is saying? Like, if you see that he's visibly drained, then that's a valid excuse, is it not?
Yeah, but it's different, for us to say, and then for him to come out and talk. You know, I guess it's the way it's represented afterwards. Like, if we as fans see it and say it, as opposed to him coming out and crying about it right afterwards, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and
he'll just come off weird, because, like, after the whole Brook, the way he handled himself during the Brook thing, that, like, it'll just be another one after, and it'll leave a bad taste in most people's mouth.
Lemieux, your boy Canelo didn't moan when he did the catchweight afterwards. He didn't come out saying, I was weight drained.
Yeah, but come on, dude, you can't compare Canelo to these guys, you know, there's a difference.
Yeah, exactly, he's a man of pride.
Exactly. You can't compare Canelo.
Yeah, these guys are mere mortals.
Canelo's just a man, you know. Exactly. Canelo's like a god. But like regarding Shawn Porter, you know what? I don't really pay much attention to. Well, I mean, pretty much Shawn Porter is everything that he says is just represented through Ken Porter's mouth. So it's not like Shawn has a personality, anyways. But like Ken Porter, he says a lot of stupid shit, but at the same time, I can't really blame him for what he's saying right now, because at the end of the day, you have absolutely no idea how that weight cap is going to affect you physically, because he's never gone through it, obviously. So, you know, I don't know. I think this whole fight it's just disappointing, man. Like, there's just always going to be this cloud over this fight, no matter what happens.
It's going to come with an asterisk.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that word properly to this day, but, you know, this fight just doesn't. It loses so much of its appeal, because there's just no certainty, you know, with any of the weight stipulations, and I don't know. I just think we're robbed of a good fight based on mere contract, you know, concessions, and it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. It's really stupid. I mean, come on, the fight is taking place in Vegas when it should be taking place in Ohio, right? The fight is taking place.
So would you have rather seen
come on, man?
Would you have rather seen Algieri versus Broner at a regular weight, and then Thurman versus Porter at a regular weight, instead of the fights that we're getting?
You mean those two fights separately?
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I don't really like Broner versus Algieri, to tell you the truth, man. I don't.
Or Broner versus Khan at 147 or something.
Yeah, that'd be a great fight. Khan versus Broner and fucking Thurman versus Porter. That'd be two great fights.
Yeah, with no catch weights, no nothing.
Exactly. I hate catch weights, man. It fucking ruins the entire, you know, the worth and purpose of a fight, you know? Like, what good does it do for anyone? Other than, of course, the A side, but it's like, come on, man. I can't say who's going to win, because, like, this is such a huge determinant factor, I think, for Porter, right? And I think Broner could beat Porter at their comfortable weight classes, which is, I mean, I guess for Porter would be at 47. Hey, who's chewing in the background, man? That's disrespectful, bro.
Yo, I think that's Chew.
That's gotta be MV Chew.
Hey, MV Chew, put yourself on mute, homeboy.
Hey, you're the one calling from the fucking pit stop on the fucking highway.
Hey, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I just got my driver's license, so I need to practice.
MV chewing.
That's how I got my name.
Good one, Omada. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man. Do you see the fights?
Which one?
The Cotto fight.
No, I thought Cotto looked like a beast. What do you think?
Yeah, let me just say one thing about Cotto. I mean, I know Cotto like tears me apart because I'm obviously, you guys know I'm a big Freddie Roach fan, but at the same time I really do hate Miguel Cotto. But I think Miguel looks fucking good, and I'm not trolling right now. I like stylistically. I watched a little bit of the Trout fight. Like, this guy looks completely different from the Trout fight. To what
he's sitting
now.
on his punches. He's not trying
like
to.
It's incredible,
no
man.
more. Yep.
A good boxer too. Like the way his stance is, like that stance is fucking pull off, and everything that he does is just so short and compact. That Canelo fight is gonna be one fucking good fight, man. And I'm kind of nervous for my boy Canelo because, I mean, I think Cotto may not have. Actually, I don't know what Cotto's power is like. I know everyone at the wild card says his power is for real, even at junior middleweight and middleweight. So, you know, that's a really hard fight to pick, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree with you, but your boy Marvin, does he do much work with Cotto?
I'm sorry?
Your boy Marvin.
Yep.
Is that his name? Did you see him like embracing Cotto at the end, and they had like at the end of the fight, and they had like a good conversation? Like, come on, let's be honest. Freddie Roach can't even. He's not like, you know, the Parkinson's has got to him. So I wonder how much work that Marvin is doing with him instead of Freddie.
Yeah, but it's the philosophy. Like, I know I was getting laughed at a little bit, like when Cotto, like the first Delvin fight, like he started like hitting the bags hard again, hitting pads hard again. It wasn't like all that futuristic shit where he's running after tennis balls and doing like reaction timing things that he was doing with that Cuban dude and shit like that. Like, he's just thumping. He's just in the gym thumping, and Cotto's got legit real power. Like, he's always had it at every weight class he was at. And, like, say what you want about Sergio's knees, he still fucking rocked him with the first clean left hook he caught him with, period. And that's what buckled his leg.
I hate to say this, and this might sound kind of crazy because, I mean, I guess this is an appropriate time to say it because Sergio retired this past weekend, but I think Cotto versus Sergio at 160, even 2 years ago, would be a pretty good fight. If
this
version of Cotto.
Not the Cotto that was losing to Trout.
This reminds me, I want to ask you guys a question because I got into an argument with that fucking prick Gabriel Montoya on Twitter about this.
Yo, he brought us up too on his show. He was like, I argued with one guy, and he was like, and then another guy who is me comes in and says he's first ballot for sure, and I just don't think they understand.
Hey, leave me out of it, guys. Gabriel Montoya is a great journalist, so I don't want to have any part in this conversation.
But what we were saying was that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay.
And he's saying he's not even sure that Cotto's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, come on, man. Cotto's definitely first ballot, I think. I think so.
What I got into the argument with him, and I know we're kind of sidetracking, I said that his record at 140 is enough to get him into the Hall of Fame. Like, his resume at 140, the guys he beat at 140, is enough for Miguel Cotto to get into the Hall of Fame. That's what I said.
Uh-huh.
And he disagreed. I don't, you know, you're entitled to that. It's not like a sure thing. It's just an opinion.
Right.
But for Gabriel Montoya to say that Miguel Cotto doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame like he did in his show last week, to me that's just hating. Like, you've got a personal kind of vendetta against him for whatever reason. I don't know why. But, you know, Miguel Cotto's an all-time great. Never mind a fucking Hall of Famer.
I don't know about an all-time great. Because if you think about it, what has he done from 147 to 160?
Well, he beat Shane Mosley.
Yeah, but that was a really close fight. I think he won, but it was very, very close.
I thought Clotty beat him as well.
I mean, is that all-time great material? I don't know. Probably not.
Shane Mosley's an all-time great.
Okay, but that's one win, though. Like, are you going to say he's an all-time great because of one fight?
So what? I mean, Ricky Hatton got into the Hall of Fame.
But he's not an all-time great. He's not an all-time great, though.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if you add up all of Miguel Cotto's other wins, he becomes an all-time great.
Oh, man.
Especially he's running.
This conversation could go on forever, but I just want to talk about Cotto's resurgence, because I rarely buy into this whole resurgence type of narrative, because it so rarely is true. And even then I have my doubts, because what's Cotto's opposition been with Freddie Roach? It's been absolute garbage. But still, like, visually, you can just see that he's changed stylistically, you know? He looks very, very good, so you can't deny what you see, you know? That's so apparent.
All right, let's get off this talk. Black hole, last week's black hole. Ari, let's talk about David Lemieux and Hassan N'dam. What do you think of that fight, and how do you see it playing out?
I think it's a pure 50-50, you know. I don't know, man. I want to pick N'dam, but sometimes you can't trust his chin, you know. So I'd say N'dam should win, but at the same time, it's on a Golden Boy show in Canada, so the cards might even be against him, you know. So I don't know. I'll go N'dam decision. I don't really like him. I don't rate him. You know, the amount of times I've seen him. Yeah, they're fighting.
Wow.
It's a good week, man, you know.
Doesn't N'dam look kind of like Nicholas Walters? I always get them confused.
Yeah, they both got plats.
And they both look like they fight at the same weight class, too.
Yo, Ari, did you hear about N'dam's team?
Yeah.
Had the issue
but that's
two Canadian judges.
Oh. See, N'dam needs a promoter like Hearn, because Hearn will always make sure his guys have neutral judges, or, you know, one Brit.
Yeah, two Canadian judges, it's quite dodgy, man.
Like I said, you know, it's in Canada. It's on a Lemieux card.
Canada.
And something about the ref that he's like already refed loads of Lemieux fights and shit like that. So I think.
Oh shit! I'm not liking this.
N'dam's team put in a protest, but I don't know what's happened with it, to be honest.
N'dam fucked up though, because they had this fight. He could have had it. They had it for 300,000. They let it go purse bid. They didn't even bloody bid for it. Apparently, N'dam's gonna get like, you know, 50 grand or whatever. Lemieux's not gonna. He's gonna get much more than the purse bid, because Golden Boy's gonna pay him money on the side, isn't it? Because he's a Golden Boy fighter. He's also got a contracted agreement of how much he gets, if you know what I mean. So Lemieux's gonna be making a lot more money than him as well. So it's crazy, but yeah. I see you're saying all that shit. Yeah, I want to go N'dam. So I'm still going N'dam. I'll go N'dam. I'm also going to put N'dam split. Because you said there's two Canadian judges, yeah, that's an N'dam split decision for me.
I'm probably going to watch the undercard fight, see the size of the ring, because if it's a small ring, N'dam's fucked.
Yeah.
Because he uses his movement and his legs, so... Leon, what do you think?
Yeah, it is pure 50-50 fight. And I agree with Ari, I think N'dam can outbox him, but Lemieux does have some pop on him, so I'm going Lemieux late stoppage.
Okay, Hamada?
It's a tough fight to call, but I'm going to go Lemieux knockout.
Second round?
Indoor round.
Indoor round. Alright. Dan, what do you think?
I gotta go with my boy Lemieux, man. We'll pretty much have the same lineage, you know. I think Lemieux he's sporadic and he's wild, but if he connects once, I mean, if Kid Chocolate could knock down N'dam 6 times, I think Lemieux can replicate that to some degree. And like you guys mentioned, he has a favorable judges if the fight is in his backyard, so I can't see N'dam winning this fight.
People in the UK will get this reference, but N'dam is like the song by Chumbawamba, I get knocked down, Would I get up or down? Up again? I fucked that up. I totally fucked that up. Yeah, that could have been good, man, but I just fucked it up.
That's a banger, man. You know, it's funny, I've always remembered that song because I had a FIFA 1998 World Cup, I think that's which one, on my PlayStation 1, and that song used to always be getting played on that shit, and ever since then I've always remembered that tune.
It's a tune, man, it's a tune.
Yeah, it's a tune.
But, Chew, what do you think of this fight?
I've got Lemieux, late stoppage. I like N'dam, he's got skills, but if Peter Collins can knock you down 6 times or whatever, however many times it was, then I think Lemieux might stop him. But I think N'dam's a kind of momentum fighter. The longer it goes on, he kind of grows into it, and then he gets into that kind of rhythm. And I think Lemieux's best chance is to just try and get him out of there early, and I think he will. So yeah, just like Hamada. I'm just picking like Hamada from now on.
The champ.
League, you know.
Kev. Who else is fighting this weekend?
Your favourite fighter?
Yeah, we're about to get on to him.
Okay, my bad.
Let me just get
on your favourite channel.
Wait, hold on, Kev, you there? I think Kev's still helping.
Kev's
still... come on, let's go to the main event, guys.
Kev's still pumping that ball up for the kid.
I've been dying to discuss this fight for the past 3 months.
Go ahead then, Dan.
The main event.
The beast that is Paul Smith versus the beast that is Andre Ward.
Did they have any kind of hyping up pre-fight show?
Not that I've seen.
On BET? Didn't someone say in the chat that BET has a net audience of 90 million people? Or something to that extent?
Yeah, I think someone was questioning that. I don't know. I think they read it somewhere.
Bullshit.
Kev says that on Twitter.
Oh, man.
That's bullshit. The most watched shows don't even get like... They get over 10, you know? So.
What kind of programming do you think is going to lead up to this fight?
Jay-Z performance.
Shit. Or it's one of those old school gin free rap performances from like 10 years ago.
I think so, man.
Man, this fight.
You know it's a bad fight when Andre Ward isn't even talking about his opponent. He's just talking about Triple G. No, I don't know if you guys seen the unboxing scene. Like Triple G just went crazy on Andre Ward.
What did he say?
Well, Golovkin. The headline is Golovkin shreds Andre Ward. Why are you talking shit? And basically, Triple G was talking Russian to a writer, and basically Triple G just says HBO had a meeting between us both. Andre Ward said no, Triple G said yes. So Ward ducked the Triple G fight. That's basically the content of the article. But if you look at Andre Ward over the last couple of weeks, he's just been talking about Triple G constantly, saying that he's been ducking him and whatnot. So I just someone's lying.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's Andre Ward, but it probably is.
But he's Christian, true. He doesn't sin.
Yeah, I don't know, but if Triple G and Andre Ward were to ever fight...
You know what? I could believe that, you know, because I don't think I ever said it to you guys, but I seen a YouTube interview. You know that guy, he's called Sway. You know, Sway in the Morning. I know he's got a radio show in America. He does YouTube interviews. And I seen Ward was on that, and I listened to a bit of it. I had to turn off because Ward was talking some crazy shit. He was saying stuff like, oh, Froch ducked the fight, so I had to get the best British guy other than Froch. He was saying them kind of things. And then he was shitting on Golovkin, saying he's in my weight class and he's fighting guys, but he won't fight me. You know, Ward was just lying because he knew he was talking to guys that don't know shit about boxing. You know? So when I seen Ward saying that kind of stuff, so I could believe that Ward's lying because I've seen evidence of Ward chatting shit. You know,
I agree with you. I think Ward talks a lot of fucking bullshit, man. This guy is fucking delusional, like a lot of overly religious people are. You know, no offense to people in the chat who are religious, but he just reminds me of like an extremist to some extent. Like, because I saw him on one of those like evening, not evening, but afternoon talk shows hosted by who's that Hispanic lady that always goes to all the fights? Front row, something Perez, Rosie Perez. Yeah, they were having an interview, and he was just talking. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was literally talking to these people like they were casuals, which they are, obviously, and you can get away with whatever you want. I think so.
With what's his name? Goldberg, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, it was her. Yeah, it was unbearable. Man.
Yeah,
this guy
when
just talks so much shit.
These guys that don't know about boxing, he lies, and he bigs himself up to to make him sound like a hero and shit. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he paints himself out obviously as the really Christian, holy fighter who doesn't sin. Not doesn't sin, but he just portrays himself and he carries himself in that manner. But that doesn't exclude you from talking all this bullshit. I can't stand it, to tell you the truth. I don't know. It's hard to defend Andre Ward to any degree. Like, yeah, he's a great fighter, but like, come on, man. You haven't fought in 3 years, and you can't be talking all this shit when you haven't even stepped in the ring yet.
And it's not like we forget that this guy said he wanted 3 tune-ups or 2 tune-ups. So how could Golovkin be ducking you if you said you wanted 2 tune-ups?
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. And you know what? I'm not this big Golovkin fan, but you have to call a ball and strike a strike. It's just
Nah, but with Andre Ward, I see where he's coming from, in one way, because like even Loeffler said before, like there's no money in that fight, innit? Which is true. There isn't enough money to compensate both of them, but he's basically looking at it like they don't, because they've come out and said we're only interested in that fight if it's pay-per-view. Golovkin's not gonna move up, etc., etc. But so I understand where he's coming from, but obviously he wants tune-ups in it, so he's not helping the situation either.
Yeah, especially tune-ups at light heavyweight. Let's be honest, that's what Sky said. 12-round light heavyweight fight. He's not a super middleweight anymore.
Exactly.
And I know what Chu's about to say. He's about to say Paul Smith's blown up middleweight, and he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Most of his career's been at middleweight.
Come on, man. I know he's done decent so far, but really, you look at his record, and he's beaten no one. He's beaten absolutely no one since he got knocked out by DeGale and Groves. His best win since then, Tony Dobson, and he's British level at best. So it's just about, Smith acts like he's this big guy because he had a decent fight with Abraham, but we all know Abraham's shot, and you still can't beat him. So, my question in this fight is, how rusty is Ward, and if is he so rusty that he can't get him out of there? Because I don't know how I'm going to pick it yet. I don't know if I'm going to go Ward middle rounds or Ward decision if he wants to try and get some rounds under him, obviously because of the amount of rust he's got. So that's the question you have to answer in this fight is,
I think the latter.
Will Ward knock him out?
Yeah, Ward knockout, man.
Of course.
Ward should knock him out.
He's going to look like sensational. He's going to look like the pound for pound number one in this fight.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think Ward gets rusty.
I don't think.
I think Smith's become good at surviving now. I think if he starts getting hurt mid rounds, I think he'll just shell up and just coast out to 12 round loss.
See what it is, yeah. Abraham's different to DeGale, Groves. Like, Abraham's slow and he's predictable. You can see what Abraham's doing from a mile off. He's got his hands up, and then he telegraphs all his punches. So Paul Smith is seeing these punches coming that were coming from Abraham. These guys, Andre Ward, George Groves, they're faster, they're quicker, they're more athletic. He's not going to see these punches coming, and he's going to get knocked out.
No, I agree about that, but I agree with Ari's point about Ward wanted to get rounds in. I think he'll prefer just to get 12 rounds in because he's been off for so long. I don't think he's really that bothered about getting a stoppage.
Where's the fight taking place?
Where else?
Oh,
Oakland?
Yep.
Old Town, baby.
How many fans do you think Paul Smith will have there?
None, because they all know he's going to lose.
No, you'll bring over like...
They're wasting their money. They're wasting their money at their time.
Yeah, but they're going Cali. They're going Cali, man. They get to have a nice California holiday.
I wonder how much fans they'll have. Not Paul Smith, but Andre Ward.
Fuck Paul Smith. I want the worst types. I want Paul Smith to get knocked out nasty.
Yo, man, don't be harsh just because he blocked you on Twitter, bro. Come on.
Oh, he's a cunt. He's a cunt. He basically admitted, like, I'm taking this fight for the money. I know I have no chance of winning. And then he comes out, like, the last 2 weeks saying Andre Ward's got flaws and I've got a puncher's chance and that's all I need. He's a donut, man. He's a cunt.
Oh, shit. Alright. Anyone else got any final thoughts about that fight?
Who's on the undercard?
There's no undercard. Jay-Z's doing the performance. No, is it Jay?
Are you serious?
Fabulous, all of them.
No, I don't think Jay's doing it. Who's actually doing the performance?
Is there someone really doing one? I was joking.
I'm sure there's a musical.
I highly doubt Jay-Z would go to that fight, man.
No, I'm sure there's a musical break, but
Jay-Z's gonna be there.
He shouldn't, man. It's a waste of time, man.
Oh.
If you live in the UK and you got Sky Sports, Porter versus Broner's on the undercard.
Yeah, shout out to Sky. They even they know they can't just give us that shit.
They listened to us last week, innit?
Yeah, they gave us Broner Porter as well. So yeah, I'll be watching Sky HD. I decided actually, PPC commentating that good, so I'll watch Sky.
But they need to rep the flag, though, man. Paul Smith, you gotta rep the flag.
That's the only thing. If I hear any kind of flag repping by Watt and them and acting like Watt, Smith's got a chance, I might just mute them. Yeah.
All right.
But they know what it is. They love Ward. Every time Ward fights, they always love how he dissects guys. You know.
He's a little bit crude.
Even when he's been up Roch, he was being up Roch, they were liking what he was doing, you know.
Yeah, but I don't think Halling was doing that fight. I think Halling's the one that brings up the... Nah, I think it was the other guy that's gone to BT Sport.
It's kind of crazy that number 2 pound-for-pound fighter generates such little hype and so little love from the fans.
If Paul Smith beats Andre Ward, it'll make Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson look like Deontay Wilder, Eric Molina. You know what I mean? It will just be the biggest shock in boxing history.
You really think so?
Yeah, Paul Smith has got zero chance, man. Zero.
Bigger than Tyson Douglas?
I think
much bigger.
I think so. Yeah.
Man, I didn't even watch that Molina versus Wilder fight, but I guess Wilder just looked piss poor.
Horrible.
Oh, interesting.
No, did you catch any other fights on the weekend, Lim?
I saw a little bit of the what was the fight that took place on Saturday? The little Japanese scrap.
Japanese scrap.
No, the Haskins fight.
Oh, Haskins! Of all the fights, that's the only one you saw.
Nah, I don't think you're trolling. You didn't see that, did you, man? You're trolling.
I didn't watch it. But I did see the Cotto fight yesterday, though.
Shit, man.
Someone in the chat earlier said your cousin got beat up by Haskins.
Who's my cousin? Haskins really fought a Japanese guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just.
Was it in Japan?
Dude.
Nah, it was in Bristol.
Wow, what class?
Bantamweight.
Was it Kid Gallibum that made that joke?
Probably. It might have been.
Shit.
It's all good, though. Okay,
we good.
We good.
Never trust a Japanese fighter.
Chew likes to say that in every episode.
Nah, there's another example of it. You know what I mean? Sorry, Lim.
He got knocked out, man. What can you do?
Stay awake.
Stay awake. Dude, the Japanese fighters, at least the ones that they send over to the US, are just straight fucking bums, aren't they?
Yeah, and the ones that aren't go to Mexico. And even then, when they go to America, they get knocked out. Or lose.
All right.
Yeah, but...
Lim, I'll give you the floor because you jumped on late. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, man, just that Cotto versus Canelo fight. I'm just really excited about that.
Do you think it'll happen this year?
I was just going to ask you. Do you guys think it would take place in November, if at all?
I think early next year.
Huh. Like when? Like February? March?
March, yeah.
And what weight class? 154?
155 probably.
Yeah, I can't wait for that fight, honestly. Everything else is just kind of going under the radar for me.
Lim, where do you see it taking place?
Shit, I think it'll take place at Vegas at the end of the day. Isn't that the safest bet?
Super fight in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. And what else? And I think that fight could break. I think a mil is really optimistic, but probably somewhere around like 800,000 buys. That should be able to do it, right?
I don't know. I think it'd be more. I think it'd be like 1.2, 1.3.
Okay. And do you guys think? I don't know. Do you think Floyd would try to butt in by any way and try to steal Cotto away from Canelo?
Possibly, but someone pointed out to me, I think it was on the Coalition Twitter, that, you know, Cotto's with Rock, and the Rock don't really deal with Heyman, so the way I could see it happening is Floyd having the rematch with Canelo and not having the rematch with Cotto. That's the only way I could see it happening.
Okay, but yeah, other than that, nothing else. I know Molina fought this past Saturday. Who fought over there in the pond other than Haskins?
That was the only main UK fight last week. It was a quiet weekend over here.
quite a weekend, right? Who else? Who else fought over here in the States?
Lara fought Delvin on Friday.
And Lara, I heard Lara just put on a straight whooping on Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, and Beterbiev was on the undercard.
Interesting. Okay. All right, and so this weekend...
Lara Rodriguez, another great headlining event.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how PBC sustains just their profitability, their viability. How is it even possible? No one watches it, man.
Nah, yeah, they're just hemorrhaging money. There's all these rumors going around that it's part of like a Ponzi scheme where the money is just getting dumped. I wouldn't put anything past them, because they're just, each event's just losing multiple millions of dollars every event. Like they said, the Guerrero fight, there was literally like 300 people there.
And they probably mistook Ski Mask for like 3 people, right?
Oh,
that's a bit harsh, Liam. Come on.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, those numbers aren't doing very well, are they, for PBC? Like, how many people do you think are going to show for the Ward fight in Ward's hometown? I'm guessing like 4,000.
You know, I think Ward might sell the most he's ever sold, because, you know, he's getting pumped. You know, Jay-Z, obviously Jay-Z's name behind it. He's going on like national TV shows and shit. I think there might be over 6,000-7,000. I don't know how big the arena is, but I think it might be quite full.
We probably do millions of views on BET as well.
Nah, I'm at the same time as Broner Porter, I think.
Nah, they're gonna
Broner Porter's kind of early.
They're gonna have to delay it. They're gonna have to do it after that, man. They can't have it at the same time.
Broner Porter starts at like 8:30 Eastern, so 1:30 our time. I think Ward starts around 10ish Eastern.
Yeah.
So
you guys are picking. You guys are picking Broner.
I'm picking Porter.
Yeah, it's a mix, because obviously we're all concerned about the weight issue, but yeah, it's a mix. At the moment, I want Porter to win, but I have to see him on the scales, but I'm favouring Broner. Right. I fucking hate Broner, but just because of the weight and because of the rehydration, I'm favouring Broner at the moment.
Yeah. And then, is the Danny Pauly fight official?
Yep. August 1st at the Barclays, man. Actually, Lim, what's your thoughts on that fight?
I think Danny's going to beat Pauly. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, we kind of discussed it earlier, man, but I'm just disappointed. It's another shit fight, to be honest.
It is. It's a terrible fight. And I don't want to buy... I'm not going to buy into that fight. It's or the idea that because it's his first fight at welterweight, he gets a pass on his opponent. Like, come on, man. You're going to fight Pauly Malignaggi. Like, that fight doesn't do anything for you at that weight division. Right? I mean, the whole point of settling in at a new weight class and to fight a tune-up is to test yourself with guys that are representative of that weight class physically, right? And Paulie doesn't present any of those issues whatsoever. Fighting Paulie is like fighting a fucking 135 pounder when it comes to power and just their physical impression that they leave on you. So what does this fight do for you? Just absolutely nothing. You know, if you're going to fight someone at welterweight, fight someone who's going to present you with, you know, size like a Cano or some guy like that that's just naturally, you know, going to be bigger than you. But like, come on, he's going to be bigger than Paulie, and I don't think Paulie's that slick to begin with. So I think he's going to get hit flush plenty of times throughout the fight. So I think Danny's going to win that pretty easily.
I agree, Lim.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
All right, thank you, man. Let's have some final thoughts because we're pushing almost 3.5 hours. So, Chew, you got any final thoughts?
Nah.
Chew sounds half asleep already. Nah, man.
Is that some kind of song?
Nah.
That's a fucking Destiny's Child song.
Is that the Jon Snow song?
Don't go there, Lim. No spoilers, man. No spoilers. Kev, you got any final thoughts? Kev's going to pump that kid's ball up again, I think.
What's the story behind that? He's playing basketball with some 6-year-olds?
No, basically, we were just talking before, and then Kev went to his door and opened the door, and some kids started talking. And Kev said, "I'll be right back. I just got to pump this kid's ball up."
Well, like a basketball?
Don't know, football, basketball, something.
Football. Oh man, that's funny, dude.
All right, Leon, you got any final thoughts? Leon, any salty final thoughts? Leon's fell asleep as well. Hamada, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I got one. You know, guys might remember Robert Garcia was trying to say that Brooke didn't want MX gloves for Rios, but like I said, I think I said it last week, it's not Brooke, it's the British board, and I think apparently they've officially banned MX gloves, so you can't use MX gloves in England no more in Britain. So if Rios was to come over here, he can't use the gloves.
Couldn't he use the Cleto Reyes?
Yeah, he can.
The
they
Chino
just don't like
Reyes?
something about the MX gloves. The British board don't like it, and they've banned it.
Yo, Ari, quick question. You were talking about Ken Porter earlier, yeah?
Yep.
And you know his conversation on the Boxer Voices interview he had yesterday. And you know when he was talking about Brooke.
I know what you're going to say. Gee, fucking hell, Cam. You have to get signing, innit?
Well, what am I going to say?
Anyway. I know what you're going to say. Just say it.
Does Porter deserve a rematch?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. If he beats Broner, yes.
No, even before the Broner fight, like, I'd rather see a Porter rematch in the UK than see fucking Frankie Gavin or Brandon Rios.
He just fought a bum.
Taking shots.
Who just fought a bum?
He has to get one in, innit, Hamada? He has to get one in.
Has to always take shots.
Yeah, you want that Porter rematch, innit? So Khan can duck for longer, innit?
Why are you answering my question with a question? Answer my question.
I just answered it. I said if he beats Broner, yes.
No, but don't you think he should have got one before the Broner fight?
Why?
I think that should have been a straight rematch. Obviously, he had his mandatory.
It wasn't mandatory.
No, so I'm saying it doesn't. But I think the way the fight played out, it was a close fight.
Nah, it wasn't close. The fight wasn't close.
Nah, it was 8-4. No, it was a close fight. Man.
Nah, the scorecards were ridiculous. 170. I think one was like 9-3, the other one 8-4, and the other one was a draw. But that was the British judge trying to be fair. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
It was 8-4.
Nah, I just would prefer to see Port.
I can't wait for Khan not tie again. You deserve something now. You're starting to get a bit cheeky.
No, man, I'm just saying I would prefer Brooke versus Porter in Sheffield or London rather than fucking Brooke versus Rios. That's all I'm saying.
And I said if he beats Broner, yes, I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Even if he doesn't beat Broner, I think he still deserves a rematch.
He can call the breaks.
They're not even calling him out though.
Who's not calling who out?
The Porters ain't calling out, bro.
Well, he was talking about yesterday. He said like we requested the rematch and they turned it down.
Nah, he said. What did he say? He said something else. He said, we would fight him, but they don't want it.
Yeah, so that must mean that they requested it and they turned it down?
I don't think they requested it. They just mean there's no contract, like they're not offering us it. But of course they're not going to offer it to you. They beat you and they want to do other things. Like Rios.
Yeah, that's the credible fight. Yeah.
It's a credible fight. If
that's not a credible fight, man.
It's a credible fight.
And if that shit's on pay-per-view,
how come Chavez is allowed to fight Bradley and no one says a word, but Rios can't fight Brook when Rios beat Chavez?
No, I never said I was happy with the Chavez Bradley fight.
No one's shitting on it.
Yeah, he's got a point.
No, there's a difference between not minding it and shitting on it.
Rios is better than Algieri. Let's keep it real.
Rios is not better. Not the Rios we got now. The Rios now is shot.
When was Rios ever prime? Or when Rios has always been the same.
No, he was decent in like 140.
When he was a bully like Broner and he was fighting guys that he was like 20 pounds, 30 pounds heavier than. Like when he was fighting John Murray and that.
No, he was decent back then, yeah.
He was bullying them though. Now he's fighting guys his own size and it's hard now.
No, I don't think the guys are his own size. I don't think he should be at 147. Like he still looks flabby at that weight. He doesn't look toned and shit. But
I thought Rios looked great in his last fight.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Cam Chu. The guy beats Chavez in a close fight.
No, I thought he was losing to Chavez, man.
And I had him one up.
Are you forgetting the Alvarado fight?
And he beat up Alvarado.
Oh, fuck off, man. Alvarado was shot, man.
But Rios is this bum that doesn't deserve a title shot at Brook.
Oh, you're terrible, man. You're terrible.
But Chavez is allowed to fight Bradley.
Ari, man, you're terrible, bro. You're terrible.
Brook, who guys don't want to say is better than Bradley, guys rate Bradley higher than Brook, is allowed to fight Chavez, but Brook cannot fight Rios. That's what you're basically saying, Cam. Cam, you're salty.
No,
Stop
man.
it.
You're terrible, man. You giving Rios props for that third fight with Alvarado, man. That's terrible, bro.
Beat him up.
Nah, man, that was terrible.
That's like giving Collazo credit for knocking out Victor Ortiz, though.
I didn't give Collazo credit, though.
Khan and Cam wanted to give him credit.
Who? Collazo?
When Khan fights him, Cam, come on, you're not going to win, Cam. Sorry, I'm not having it, Cam.
Yeah, you're salty, man.
Actually,
Cam, you're the one who brought Brook for no reason. No one was talking about Brook.
No, I know no one was talking about him, but when you made the point earlier, I put it in the back of my mind to ask you later on, and obviously we got a little time at the end of the show, so I wanted to discuss it with you. That's all it was.
You see, Cam, I'm not having none of it today. Chu tried it with Waters earlier. You're trying it with Brook. It's not happening. I'm ready for you guys. I've got the
What did you say about Walters?
I'm check hooking everyone off the mat. Anyone wants to check hooks. And I'm testing chins.
No, man.
Hey, Chu, what did you say about Walters?
Walters is a bully.
He is. That's why that Nonito fight doesn't mean anything. Nonito's still the best at that weight class. That fight was rigged.
Let's not even get to that list, because after that Donaire fight, you went missing for like 2 months.
Lim, I've got a name for Nicholas Welters.
That's
Do you like
one,
that?
man.
Nicholas Welters. Oh no.
Nicholas.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yes.
Let's finish on this.
Oh, fuck it. Can I just...
Cam, we'll be there. We'll both be there in that stadium. And we both know who'll be laughing at who after that fight. Let's just end on that. Yeah? And you know it. So let's just end on that.
I'll be laughing at you, bro. You know it. Anyway.
Everybody wants to see Brook against Rios because we want to see if Brook can knock Rios out.
No one wants to see that fight, Chu. Who wants to see that fight?
I want to see that fight because I want to see if Rios can get knocked out with that iron chin.
I would fucking love it if fucking Rios beat Brook.
No, you would.
I would fucking... Yo, shit. You better go missing, Ari, if that shit happens, man. You better just avoid the podcast for a couple months, you know.
I'm on there.
And I just want to say, I want Rios Ortiz. I saw an interview very recently with Victor Ortiz.
Where he looked drunk.
Yeah, it was on Hoop Jab.
Dropped the summit.
He's on cocaine, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's definitely on cocaine, man. He's fucking out the game. He's hilarious. So I hope Victor Ortiz comes back. I hope he gets a good fight. I can't get enough of Victor Ortiz, man. I'm a big fan. Pause.
Do they have Special Olympics for boxing? Because I think Ortiz should be the headline if they ever decide to give that the green light in Special Olympics. Because I think he might be mentally challenged, man.
I was actually Brandon Rios. Like in that interview, Victor Ortiz was asked, "Do you want to fight Brandon Rios?" And Ortiz went, "Yeah, anywhere in the street. In the street, he knows where it is." Yeah, so Brandon Rios responded to this in an LA Setback video, and he basically said, "I followed Victor Ortiz to like a mutual friend's house, and Victor Ortiz didn't want to fight him. He tried to shake his hand and shit." So it's great. I'm going to post the link in the chat.
Did any of you lot listen to Joel Diaz's interview with the Boxing Voice, and how he was telling Nezada how he's making Ortiz get beat up in sparring just so like he gets tougher. And and then when he comes back to the corner, he's telling Ortiz, "No, you're not gonna quit."
I like Joe Diaz though. He's a real guy, man.
He's literally a sheep.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible.
He's trying to give him heart.
No, if I was Ortiz, I'd be pissed, man. I'd be like, "Coach, why are you sharing gym stories, man? That's not cool."
You're saying stuff like I'm making him spar bigger guys as well.
You know what he said in the video? He said, "Diabetes, yeah, it's a cool thing." What the fuck is that?
Yeah, they were at a fundraiser for diabetes or something like that. He's fucking. Then he said that, I was like, this guy is crazy. He chuckled, bro. The way he laughed as well, he thought it was proper funny. I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's on something.
No, I think that's just a language barrier thing, but...
No, I think, you know what I think it is? Because he's got a bad hand at the moment. This is just me. I just thought of this right now. I think he might be addicted to painkillers. Right now. But he's on something. If anyone's seen that interview, they'll know he's on something.
I'm trying to find it right now, man. It's fucking...
Yeah. Well, what we got left? Because I need to go soon. It's getting late. We got a good show, though. 3.5 hours.
I could talk about Victor Ortiz for days, man.
Let's not.
He's got a great career, man.
Yeah, a beautiful career.
Yeah, I've got that video here of Victor Ortiz, and I'll find the Brandon Rios one. Anyway.
Alright.
Yeah.
Guys, let's wrap it up. It's like 1:30 in the morning in the UK. So, all the panel, thank you for jumping on. People in the chat, you've been excellent as always. Thank you. And to all the people that download the show, thank you too. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Oh, dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great.
Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Fringe side?
But you won't brush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.